This is Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Mostly sunny this afternoon, 24, with the 4 o'clock news. I'm Michaela Kamarek.
All new 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander with 10-year warranty, 10 years capped price servicing at Agostino Mitsubishi.
AGL has announced it will be closing the Torrens Island B power station on June 30, 2026. That's almost a decade earlier than first flagged, and renewables is the reason. It will have been in operation for 50 years. Energy Minister Tom Koutson-Toner says the government doesn't blame AGL for the decision.
It's a decision that the economics of the interconnector were always going to make. If you read any of the former government's reports into building the interconnector, it talked about closing Torrens Island fairly and squarely. That was always their plan, and here we are today with the consequences of that.
AGL is building a big battery due to come online mid-2023. There's mixed news on the flood situation in SA, with no increase to the predicted peak in early December. But Premier Peter Malinauskas says the second peak around Christmas will likely be higher.
So while there is good news about what we expect at the beginning of December, we are certainly on high alert in respect to what we know will come across the border in late December.
4 kilometres of specialist flood barriers have arrived in Adelaide from Italy, and 400,000 extra sandbags are set to be delivered in the coming days. There could be flight delays at Christmas if Qantas flight attendants go ahead with threatened strike action. As the airline continues to recover from its COVID losses, staff are demanding a 2-year wage freeze be lifted. Qantas says it's a disappointing step, but Angela McManus from the Flight Attendants Association says the airline can afford to pay higher wages.
We worked really hard during COVID. A lot of us stood down for up to 18 months. I think basically the crew have had enough. They really just want the company to listen to them. They want to just have a really fair outcome, and I don't think we're asking for much.
Legislation to form a National Anti-Corruption Commission has passed through the lower house and now moves to the Senate. The agency can compel politicians and officials to give evidence. The independents say the commission should have more teeth, but Labor will be able to get its model over the line with support from the opposition. It's only a week till the new look Adelaide 500. The first road closures kick in tomorrow with Wakefield Road impacted. Mark Warren from Motorsport SA says it's been a logistical challenge pulling it all together in time, but he thinks fans will be impressed.
For the final round, I think that's a big change for fans, and we're going to see it's going to become a street fight to the finish for the supercar drivers. This is the one that they're going to win, so gloves are going to be off, they're going to race hard, so that's going to be a bit of a change.
Now turning to FIVEAA Sport, and the Socceroos say they aren't getting bogged down in negatives following their loss to France at the World Cup. Midfielder Jackson Irvine says they're reviewing the game and will then shift focus to Saturday's clash with Tunisia.
The mentality has to be to move on quickly. Obviously we analyse where we can improve, look at what we did well and what we can take forward, but generally speaking the mentality is already switched into focusing on the next game.
Former St Kilda coach Brett Ratton will join North Melbourne as a part-time assistant coach. His focus will be on the midfield group, supporting line coach Jordan Russell. And Red Bull has confirmed the return of Daniel Ricciardo for the next Formula One season. The Australian will be a reserve driver for the team he raced with between 2014 and 2018. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
In the Parklands, we've got roads closed for the 500 on Fullerton Road at Wakefield Road, causing some inbound delays. Breakdown at Bedford Park on the Southern Expressway near Main South Road has it down to 40 outbound. At Eastwood, Urgent Gasworks, Green Hill Road near Birkin Street. Some speed restrictions at Anglevale Road near Short Road for works affecting both directions. Beaumont's massive Black Friday Aussie-made floor tile sale is on now. Aussie-made tiles from only $17.95 a square metre. Ends 5 p.m. Friday only at Beaumont's. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Now the FIVEAA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Mostly sunny this afternoon, 24. Sunny tomorrow, 31. Saturday a shower or two, 27. And Sunday a shower or two and a top of 20. Right now it's 23 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
Christmas cash-in, why Adelaide's children can't book to visit the Magic Cave for free. 9 exclusive, what really happened on the Grange runaway train. An SA power station shutting down, what it means for your household bills. The surprise medications helping shed stubborn extra kilos. And we preview the Black Friday sales. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
Good afternoon, 6 minutes after 4. Happy Thursday to you. Welcome along to the show. To quote the great KG, it is a beautiful day. Stephen Rowe, Tim Ginniver. Almost too nice to be in the studio, Timmy. We should be outside.
Without a doubt, we'll be doing that after the show, but did get out early just to soak up a few of those rays because by all accounts, they're going to disappear very shortly and we're going to get some rain tomorrow and Saturday, which is a bit disappointing. I was enjoying it immensely as I welcome Stephen Rowe to the show. Stephen, have you had a good day? Looks like you picked up a new shirt there.
Well, yeah. Drove out to 36 Short, Virginia. Picked up a 6-pack of, well, they've got the aged gin, which I like. And then you have the blood orange gin, which I like. Then you have the limoncello, which I like. We've got our charity ride next week from the Make-A-Wish.
Yes.
So the boys have donated that.
Oh,
John and Con, absolute legends.
Oh, so it wasn't just for you?
No. Oh,
right.
no, but they gave it.
Good.
So I just thought it looks good on
Stand
the
up,
5AA.
put it on the live stream for Foodland. Turn around, let's see the back. There you go. Look at that, 36 Short.
And the reason we love them is because they're so generous. It's for the ride, and we're going to do this all next week for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Correct. So I'm really looking forward to that. But I got out there about 12, and it was, as you said, a beautiful day. Sat under the vines. Cracker. There's the vineyards and the the olive trees and the whatnot. And about 3 o'clock I left after Mum had given me the most beautiful lunch. Anyway, it was great, good stuff. But I want to also mention, Timmy, I got in at about 3. You've done all the heavy lifting. You're walking around like you've still got a piece of 4x2 strapped to your back.
Yeah, it hasn't turned out well. It hasn't turned out well. I think you've done it on purpose.
You're on anti-inflammatories. you smell like, what's that, liniment?
Oh,
you had a, what was the thing you had?
Wheat bag.
The wheat bag.
Yep.
What is...
I'll be going to warm it up again in a minute.
After a ride.
Well, yes, it was it's when you're capable of doing some things and when you're, perhaps not capable ever again. And that's where I've ended up.
We're going to speak to the Tour Down Under
director. Carly Taylor, who was an absolute
and I'm going to
gun
say
herself on the bike, but she was an exceptional climber. Okay. So I'm going to get some tips on how to do that because I failed miserably yesterday.
So the mind is willing, but the flesh is weak.
No.
Well, it's also,
You're too tense. You're up over the handlebars. Loosen up.
Way too tense. But when's the last time you rode a bike,
when I was 15.
So if you went for a 2-hour ride tomorrow, what would happen to you?
Yeah, I'd be like you.
Yeah,
that's why I don't
Thank
get on
you
the
very
bike.
much.
That's why they invented
happening.
cars, mate.
Timmy,
you don't have to ride.
Timmy, loosen up, mate.
Just
loosen up.
Actually, there's a
shake it out, buddy. Just shake
Thank
it
you very much. There's a couple other people who need to loosen up a little bit, Stephen. Now, we touched on it yesterday, the Justin Langer fallout. And we had our comments, and there was text coming through. There was one here that, perhaps he needs, whether he's right or wrong, or likely somewhere in the middle, he just needs to be the bigger man and move on. Well, it's gone the next step where Paddy Cummins reportedly wants to catch up with him in Perth and have a chat. But some other people have made their comments. But just to recap exactly what JL said, let's have a listen.
I've got a belief. You hear a lot of journalists use the word source. A source says. I would say, change that word for coward. A coward says. What do you mean a source says? They've either got an axe to grind with someone and they won't come and say it to your face, or they're just leaking stuff for their own agenda. And I spoke to Pat Cummins, and Pat Cummins said to me probably 5 times, "Oh, mate, this might be brutally honest." I said, "Pat, there is nothing brutal about your feedback. What's brutal is I'm hearing it behind my back through the media or through sources." The hardest thing for me of it all, I've never said this publicly, right? The hardest thing for me of all of it was I got the feedback. I did something about it. We won the T20 World Cup. We won the Ashes. We're number 1 in the world. I've never enjoyed coaching more. I still got sacked. That's the hardest thing.
Have you ever heard of conflict management?
Well, I have. My question in all of this is who has to apologise to who? Does Pat Cummins need to say, sorry, I potted you, no hard feelings, or Does JL need to say, sorry, I was out of line? I don't know who gains from a meeting.
Interestingly, when he said he spoke to both Finch and Cummins, and then he adjusted according to himself, but it still didn't work out for him. You just wonder whether there was stuff that Cummins and Finch didn't address with him.
Well, there you go. And if they both met, it'd be through gritted teeth. The other thing I'd say is, what's the end game? JL ain't getting his job back, and Pat Cummins can't take his words back.
What has to happen is people have to make peace because they're going to come across each other. This is cricket. Small circles, and they will cut across each other. Now, Simon O'Donnell, previous player for Australia, of course, he had his comments on it. He just thought that he'd got to be careful here.
Okay.
Justin's got to be careful. What are we now, 8 months since he ceased being Australian coach? He's got to be really careful not to lose the room, and I think probably he starts to lose the room if what sympathy he is getting if he starts, doing individual things like this, because the key ingredient still at the end of the day is the game's bigger than the individual. I'd like him to stop, and if he needs to do anything about it, I think he needs to go through other channels other than just letting fly on podcasts or news services, etc.
Interesting take on it. I think Simon O'Donnell also thought that maybe he'd reached his use-by date, albeit very short.
Cricket is a little different to footy. Generally, you'll find in cricket there's a 10-year period, and 11 months of the year, you're living in each other's back pocket. I mean, people get sick of each other. Everyone wears out. I mean, tenures generally don't go for long periods, no matter what your success is. I think there's a period where your use-by date is your use-by date, no matter what success you've had. And I think that had all worn out.
That's interesting, isn't it, that comment?
Well, here's the other thing. Justin Langer's going to commentate the Summer Test Series on Channel 7. That's a fact. Sign the contract. 30th of November, he will start. How's this? This came out today. Cricket Australia has assured players, some players, in fact all players, if they don't want to be interviewed one-on-one with JL, they don't have to.
Wow.
Well, how soft is that?
Again,
if I was Channel 7, I'd say, be you-know-what. I mean, honestly, how many people would want to hear that interview? Langer and Cummins. Oh, I'd be lining up 10 deep.
Yeah.
But how soft's that, Timmy?
I don't agree with it at all.
No.
But this is where I believe, back to conflict management, I'll give you the definition of it.
Okay.
It's the practice of being able to identify, managing conflict sensibly, fairly and efficiently. This hasn't been done.
No.
This has not been done between all parties. I'm going to play a grab for you from Brad Haddon, who was an Australian wicketkeeper. This is really disturbing what he says here.
This is just a really ugly situation. This has been going on now for over 12 months. Obviously, at some stage during his tenure, he lost the change room. Whether that's whatever opinion you have on that, that's happened. That's fact. But to say Aaron Finch and Paddy Cummins are cowards, that's a big statement. That takes it to a new level. I don't know where they go from here. Is it time that they do get behind closed doors and really nut this out?
This is my issue, is that if they don't sort this out, you're exactly right, we can't have interviews on the Oval, please. That has to happen. These relationships have to get back to, and I'm not saying you have to love each other anymore, you've got to get back to a cordial relationship at least. And part of that is all of these guys have got to get in the room and sort it out.
Well, Ian Botham never did with Ian Chappell.
No, he chased him around the bar. He did. That sorted that one out.
There's been other relationships that haven't quite worked.
And
like
to be
that.
fair, they probably haven't been in a room with each other again.
But these are two Australian greats. Paddy will end up being a great. He's the Test captain. JL was an absolute great and loved and worshipped. And the other thing that I think it splits is every teammate of JL's in his corner. So it makes it hard for Gilchrist and Pat Cummins. Makes it hard for, Hayden and Pat Cummins.
Yeah.
Because we're all going to take sides.
And you're dead right. It ends up festering throughout all those circles of friends, and you don't want that.
I don't think there is a resolution. Well, one party was weak, the other one was strong, and one party saw.
There's absolutely no harm in trying to do that. And the thing about personalities is, Stephen, not everybody has got the strength to be able to just say, right, this is what I think of you. Some people don't have that personality style. So you've got to adjust to that and say, okay, well, I'm prepared to listen. If they don't sort this out, this will just fester forever. And it sounds like it's hurting Justin, and he's not doing anything about it. I think he actually has to have it happen to help him heal.
All right, so let's find out what people think. What do they do then? Do they go behind closed doors? Do they just let it fester and simmer away?
Keep doing podcasts? No.
8223 0000. You can email, send us a text, get to us via social media. Big show on the way, this being a Thursday. Caroline Wilson after 5 o'clock. We've got our Where Are They Now, thanks to Walco. We'll catch up with the Kookaburras, the Redbacks. We'll catch up with the GWS Giants, talk about the Superbikes. And next, Nathan Bassett from Port Adelaide, who's been away rubbing shoulders with some big guns. Bass will tell us all about it next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. Integrate your outdoor and indoor living space and get on board the hottest trends with a stylish outdoor kitchen of your choice, thanks to Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. 5AA's Radiothon is on this Friday, giving you the chance to bid for your very own outdoor kitchen. Choose from a range of unique and iconic styles and equipment to make your own, with all proceeds going to our friends at Variety, the children's charity. To bid or find out more, visit 5AA.com.au.
A shock absorber, CV joint, or maybe a bearing kit. It may seem like just a four-wheel-drive part, but open it up and you'll find so much more. Each terrain tamer four-wheel-drive part is the culmination of 50 years of experience. Every break, every lesson, every setback far from home strengthens everything we do. So when you break down miles from home and you drag out our number, you'll know you're in safe hands. That's the Terrain Tamer connection, and it comes free with every part.
Hey Strikers fans, TK here. Don't miss a minute of BBO action this summer. Remember these dates. Wednesday, December the 14th, our season opener against the Sydney Sixers at Adelaide Oval. Also, my birthday. Next up, it's the big one, December 31st. Adelaide's biggest New Year's Eve party returns to Adelaide Oval. You're all invited, but get your tickets quick as they're selling fast. For tickets to all BBL matches, visit adelaidestrikers.com.au and I'll see you back at Adelaide Oval this summer.
You know, Christmas morning, the best part of it is waking up early to see what's under the tree. It's so exciting for the kids. For grown-ups, well, let's just say Christmas is covered with your pals at Parafield Airport Liquor Store.
Now, Sam and Jamie are the pals. What they don't know about any liquor anywhere around the world isn't worth knowing, and their range is just unbelievable. The diversity, the choice, it's just different. Powell supports small and artisan producers, wineries, distilleries and craft brews, but you go there, you get 36 short.
That's the sort of thing you're talking about.
And you can't, it doesn't fall off trees. No. They source it, they hunt it, they bring it in, and then when you go, they say, listen, is that your taste? Go to Rowey Old J and get yourself some 36 short.
Very clever. And I've even been in there and selected, been told that these are the most beautiful single malt whiskies that you can get hold of. And I'll tell you what, they were. They never put me wrong. They find the hard stock, both locally and internationally, and it's the Powell's specialty. Can't find something you want? Just ask Sam or Jamie and they'll find it for you. So easy to shop with Powell's. Many businesses choose to let their pals make them look amazing. They can look after you and all your clients' gifts this Christmas. So you know what it's like. You got the staff look after.
Hard to buy, eh?
Yep.
Even if you just give them a slab of beer.
Oh, done deal.
Have a Peroni.
It's pretty easy. Visit Parafield Airport Liquor Store next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield, and now they're online too at palsliquor.com.au, so there's no excuse not to visit your pals.
Hi, Susanna Toop here. 30 days. That's the average time a rental property stays vacant. But at Toop & Toop, we find tenants in half the time, saving landlords an average of $860 a year. Who are you trusting to look after your biggest investment? Toop.com.au.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
If you're new to the whole Black Friday sales phenomenon, don't worry. All you need to know is you'll save heaps on a new phone from Harvey Norman. Oppo is one of the biggest phone brands in the world and they're making big waves in Australia now. Experience immersive entertainment, view vivid and colourful images, perfect for today's trendsetters. The Oppo Find X5 5G sports a frosted matte glass with a silky gloss feel, but what really makes it stand out for the crowd is its powerful 50 megapixel camera and vivid colour screen with 1 billion colour display. Normally valued at $1,399, the Oppo Find X5 is slashed to $899. Why not treat yourself and start the new year with some amazing new tech? Your nearest Harvey Norman has all the latest.
Check out this great offer at 5AA.com.au. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
grade to caravan? Your insurance should cover that. Speak to Walker Crash Repairs and let them fix it.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Nathan Bassett very shortly, 21 minutes after 4. First, the traffic for your drive home. If you're buying a Mitsubishi or getting your car serviced, head to the all-new Wavell Mitsubishi or Southern Mitsubishi.
Car is on fire. Clearview on Hampstead Road at Follen Avenue. In the Parklands, roads are closed for the 500 on Fullerton Road at Wakefield Road. Got some inbound delays there. Breakdown at Bedford Park on the Southern Expressway near Main South Road. At Eastwood, got urgent gasworks, Green Hill Road near Birkin Street. Be sure to check your speed. Henley Beach Road, Lockleys. It's the sale you've been waiting for, the Good Guys Black Friday sale. Check out which deals have unlocked now. Shop in store or online. Stores open late at the Good Guys. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Well, he's Port Adelaide's defensive coach, then he was the forward coach. Back to the future, defensive coach in 23. Nathan Bassett joins us. And Bass, you've been on a US tour, my friend.
Yeah, I have. Thanks for having me, Tim.
Yeah, brilliant. Hey, what was it for your personal use, or was it part for the Port Adelaide Footy Club? What were you up to?
I think it's always for both. I think you're trying to help. You're trying to get better yourself, which will help your footy club get better. So it's probably something you're looking to do every couple of years, to have some more coaching conversations and from different sports and different people within business or leadership or wherever, so that it can help you be a better coach, which helps the club be better.
Bit of diversity in where you went and what you did. The first one I can see, Princeton rowing. Tell us about that.
No, that was the last one, actually. So that was actually US rowing. It was in Princeton, but it was with the US rowing team, which was cold. I think it was about -2 on the water in the morning, and we weren't as prepared as we probably needed to be in terms of what we were wearing. But it was really interesting to see the technical detail that those guys have on something that, to me, looks as specific as rowing, but what they could see when the rowers were rowing, but also how they the challenges of working a national program in a sport where they're often coached by other people in colleges, and how the coaches try and manage that was interesting.
What was transferable from that to the AFL then, Bass?
I think it's the detail that they could coach, which you go, okay, well, what's the detail that I can coach? So I was in. Now I don't know the person's surname that I was in the boat with. His name was Gunther, but he'd been coaching for 39 years.
Wow!
And the little details that he could see, and then and both the way he spoke to the athletes or the rowers, but also the way he questioned them to get information out of them. And, they didn't always come to an exact agreement, but they were looking for better feel in this training session. It wasn't a super intense training session. It was something where, and probably at a slower speed, but looking for rhythm, was really interesting.
I'd love to know what you got out of the United Nations and what you did there first, New York. Did you get to meet the Secretary General, Bass? Did you sort out what's happening in Russia?
No. Well, one of the, Ron Watt is at the Coach Association, and he's been coaching for nearly 40 years in footy, and he's got a web that spreads far and wide. So I think he's coming back to Australia tomorrow or the day after. He's been in the US for about 6 weeks, all up, and this is the third tour that he's done. But that was Chris King, who's an Australian who's working with the United Nations in part of the disarmament of nuclear weapons. So he has a lot of, in terms of diplomacy and how you stay steady with what you're talking about, understanding that someone else is a long way away from where you're going to get. I'm not sure that would be your job, Rowey, in terms of trying to disarm Iran or...
Hang on, buddy. Hang on, Turbo. What are you trying to say? I'm a bit abrupt, am I? I'm a bit abrasive.
Well, I think when you've got to have the conversation, knowing that you've virtually no chance to get the result you want at some stage.
You do your Charlie.
But yeah, you might get frustrated by it.
Okay.
Which I'd understand. Yeah, mate, it's okay. It's a tough one.
Bass, I was going to ask, the guys you're just talking about, you said 39 years for Gunther, 40 years for Chris King. I mean, they're long-term coaches. Some people might think, well, they'd be old-school methods. What did you find from them?
No, well, I think that there was a whole whole range of people. So, we had someone who was a speech coach, and I've been presenting for 20-ish years as part of my job, and when you're a coach, it is your job, how you can present better, how you can speak with greater clarity, and I think those opportunities where we can be clearer with how we speak, get to the point, and grow our own brand whilst also growing the footy club's brand. I think there's still some room where if even within a footy team, what it's like, how much players have improved over the last 30 years in terms of how they present to you guys, but I think there's still a fair way to go where they could actually do it a whole lot better.
That's amazing.
On socials, you ran up the steps of Philly, a little bit like Rocky. Bit of a rough as guts town, that one, Bass. I've been there as well. Were you scared for your personal safety?
Only once. It was only because I got off at the wrong train station.
Yeah, don't do that.
It was my first day there, and I just assumed City Hall would end up somewhere in the city. It didn't.
That's a good assumption.
And it was only one train station away from where I could have got off, but there was a bridge and a big river in the way, so I couldn't quite walk it.
Okay.
So, just to circle my way back, and I enjoyed Philadelphia, and Ian McEwen, who used to be the head of high performance at Port, he's working with the Philadelphia Flyers there, so I spent a little bit of time with them, and was lucky enough to meet John James, ex-CEO of Port in Philadelphia as well. He's working for Vanguard, and had a really great leadership conversation with him, and I think he's doing okay for himself because he took me to the basketball with him, and we were only 7 rows back, so it was quite handy.
That's handy. Wow. Did you do the Rocky Balboa up the steps without puffing and jump in the air and
no running, mate?
Did you sing as you did it? No
running. I had a quiet day on Tuesday where I didn't have anything planned, so my plan was to go to the Art Museum on the Tuesday, which is where the stairs are, and everything shuts in Philadelphia on Tuesday, so I had to race in sort of Monday afternoon, so I walked up the stairs. I didn't do a lot of running. I could use probably a run now after 2 weeks in the States.
Oh, hamburgers after hamburgers after hamburgers. Yeah,
a few nice cheesesteaks in Philadelphia too.
Okay.
Beautiful. Hey, Bass, I know speaking to some people who've done journeys to the US and the like, they sometimes are disappointed in the bigger organisations they meet because they feel like there's probably... They don't have to do as much, especially in the commercial world. Whereas, say you've got the Yankees, and then you go down to Florida. Florida works so much harder because they've got to get the people there. They've got to get membership up and the like. How did you find going, say, to like the US Tennis Association and like the NFL Giants? I mean, how did they compare, and did you get stuff out of that?
Yeah, the US TA was. I thought they were, particularly interesting in terms of how they identify and talent at a younger age and try and put them into programs. And they have a different sort of challenge in US sport in the college system, and there's some positives because people want to get good at sport, so they get cheap education or free education.
Yeah.
But they're also not always aiming to be high performance athletes.
Right.
So they've got that sort of balance within tennis where sometimes as tennis coaches, there's a lot more money in coaching younger athletes to try and get into free university, basically. So they're sort of competing in that area a fair bit. I think, even talking to Maccas at Philadelphia and the challenges of a team where, they've got no control over their reserves team, basically. So they're playing a city 2 hours away, and they're owned by different people. And so if they drop a player to the seconds, basically that team is playing to win, but playing in another town. So they lose control of, $1 million players at times. And so, okay, well, that's a bit of work to juggle, but also opportunities for teams to get better if they want.
Couple of texts come through, Tim, and you'll vouch for these. Yep. I like it when Bass comes on. It's good to hear from the next Crows premiership coach. Is that not there? There's a couple there. Bass, when you're putting your hand up, you've coached flags at Norwood under your own right. You've been a senior assistant. You've held every position. You're going away. You're doing all these study things. You ready? I'll give you a job now, Bass. You're putting your hand up. Are you?
Yeah, well, I think you keep trying to get better, and if someone thinks you're good enough at some stage and you're in that right place, well, then you have a go. And I probably haven't been the greatest self-promoter over my time and my wife did say to me, she's like, why don't you actually put up some stuff about what you're doing when you travel? Because most of my Instagram posts, and there's not many in my time. I'm not exactly a compulsive social media user. More things that I find funny. So I actually thought I'd put some serious ones up for the last 2 weeks, or things that I'm actually doing, and look good. It's good. Leaf noticed it, so.
Thank you.
He contacted me, so there we go. We started. And now I'm self-promoting, aren't I? Now
it's working already. Freddie.
Hell yeah, this is working for me.
Do you want me to bang your drums, mate? Can I? There's a big fan of a singer called Tom Waits. Yeah.
And Tom Waits has this song, and he talks about being big in Japan. And I often think about I'm half a big man in Adelaide, if that makes sense, but I don't think I'm that big anywhere else.
Okay.
Rowey.
Well, Tom Waits, never heard of him. On that note, Bass, well done.
Well, go give yourself a listen, mate. You'll enjoy it.
Done. I will do that. Hey, Bass, welcome home. Well done. Keep pushing up. Have a great year, and we'll keep in touch.
Thanks for your time, mate.
Thank you.
He's a ripper.
Nathan Bassett, Port Adelaide assistant. So US tennis, US rowing, went to the NFL, went
Princeton.
to the NBA, hung out at the United Nations, was in the Australian consulate for a while. Just your
what a great little study tour.
Trip to the US.
To get better.
And now you're his cheerleader.
Who'd have thought, I've always been his cheerleader. Of course. Who'd have thought a rowing coach at Princeton's first name would be Gunther?
Yeah.
Who'd have thought that?
39 years
Big
of coaching.
square jaw Gunth.
Well done. 28 to 5. We'll get to the headlines a little late. Sorry, Michaela. On the other side, Nathan McAndrew from the Redbacks, man of the match in the draw versus Queensland.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
We are 7 days out from the start of the Varlo Adelaide 500. Mark Warren is the CEO of Motorsport SA and he joins us now on 5AA Breakfast.
There have been some challenges, Mark, doing it from a standing start. We know the story about the previous government flogged off quite a lot of the infrastructure.
Informing Adelaide.
Feels like a whirlwind from the time that I started back in May to try and pull this thing together. Hats off to the team.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. AGL has announced it will be closing the Torrens Island B power station on June 30, 2026. Australia is a step closer to getting a national anti-corruption commission after the legislation passed the lower house. There could be flight delays at Christmas as Qantas flight attendants threaten strike action, and Red Bull has confirmed the return of Daniel Ricciardo for the next Formula One season. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Clearview, a car's on fire on Hampstead Road near Fullen Avenue. In the Parklands, roads are closed for the 500 on Fullerton Road at Wakefield Road. Got some inbound delays happening. A breakdown at Bedford Park on the Southern Expressway near Main South Road. Got it down to 40 outbound. Some slight delays Holbrooks Road between Hartley Road and Grange Road. And a speed camera. Martins Road, Salisbury Downs. Bob Jane T-Mart's Black Tyre and Wheel Sale is back. Get up to 25% off select tyres and up to 15% off select wheels. Hurry ends November 30. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 13, sunny tomorrow 31. Currently it's 22 degrees. More news at 5 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
Gaza, time to down tools.
Mates, TGIF.
Yeah, nah, TGIBF.
Oh, what, like best friends?
Black Friday at Toolkit Depot.
Oh, righto, yeah, we can do that too.
Get epic Black Friday deals, like 20% off selected hand tools and power tool accessories and up to 50% off workwear. More deals in-store and online. Stock is limited, so get in quick. Toolkit Depot, your Trade Pro partner.
Like shocks shooting through your body.
That's how some people describe their shingles pain. Shingles is caused by the reactivation of the chickenpox virus. While most people recover fully, up to 25% may experience long-term complications.
I had to cancel all my plans and struggled to work.
Up to 1 in 3 people risk developing shingles in their lifetime.
If you're 50 or over, don't let shingles affect your plans.
Talk to your doctor for more information. Individual symptoms may vary. Sponsored by GlaxoSmithKline Australia, Melbourne.
Blockbuster movies are back, and so are Wallace Christmas Cine Savers. Only $60
$20 for 5 movie tickets. Or why not give a Wallace Christmas gift card? Christmas is a time of giving, and what better gift than a day at the movies? Support local and share a fabulous cinema experience with friends and family. Christmas shopping done. On sale until the 24th of December. Buy in cinema or online. Mitcham, Mount Barker, Noarlunga, Gawler and Piccadilly. North Adelaide reopening December 15. Wallace.com.au.
Rowey, I know you've had this pleasure yourself. Watching the 36ers play courtside. What an experience.
Well, it is. They got the Perth Wildcats tonight at 9. Go, you
that's
Sixers.
a wait.
But this is what this is all about. Jacobs Creek and Sip and Save are giving you a shot at winning just that. You and a cobber could win courtside seats to see the Adelaide 36ers play the Mighty Hawks on Friday, January the 6th. And not only that, you'll both also get a pre- and post-game access to the JC Legends Room. Been in there as well. You've even hosted that, Timmy, with food and beverage supplied. It is one of the great nights.
I tell you what, hopefully it's a night that I'm there. A chance to win this incredible experience. All you have to do is head into your nearest Sip and Save, and we all know there's one right near you. Purchase any 750ml bottle of Jacobs Creek Reserve or Jacobs Creek Double Barrel. Best part, we'll make it easy for you. Right now at Sip and Save, Jacobs Creek Reserve wines are 2 for $22. And Jacob, exactly, Richie Brando. And Jacobs Creek Double Barrel are just $17.99 each.
So what in hell are you waiting for? Pick up your bottle of Jacobs Creek, head online to enter, sipandsave.com.au, T&Cs apply.
Scraped your caravan? Don't worry. Call Walker Crash Repairs, your RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
Man of the match, Nathan McAndrew in just 1 second from the mighty Redbacks. Just a reminder, tomorrow though, 5AA's Radiothon. We are raising funds for Variety, the children's charity. We need your help to raise much needed funds to ensure that Christmas is so special for all of the kids in SA, regardless of their challenges. For the first time, a radio show will be broadcasting from the Adelaide Airport from 4 o'clock, right out the front of the Penfolds Bar. If you're going, if you're coming, if you know someone at the airport, come and say hello. Taking donations all week. We've got some amazing auction items tomorrow across the day. To find out more, visit 5AA.com.au. Keep listening to 5AA and support Variety, who do incredible work. Just before Nathan, he'll enjoy this too. Here's some Tom Waits for you on the back of Nathan.
Oh, yeah.
She said, baby, I still love you. Sometimes there's nothing left to do.
I'd say that's one of Tom's better songs too. That's
just the response on his face.
There you go.
He sounds like a poor man's. Who's that snoozer that...
A bit of Bob Dylan, baby.
Yeah, that's it. The poor man's Bob Dylan.
Bob, maybe Willie Nelson.
He sounds like Bob Dylan before he had some hoochie coochie. He's terrible, Bass.
If only you saw the
Food
Foodland
on the
live
live
stream.
stream.
Oh, and that's his best song.
Well, apparently.
Did that ever make a top 10?
I'm not sure.
We might ask Nath. Hey, Redbacks grinded out a hard-fought draw in the F. They were 5 for 25 in the first dig. Joining us, he was an absolute gun. Nathan McAndrew, man of the match with a 5 for and a real gritty 46. Nath, well done. Thanks for your time.
No worries, guys. Thanks for having me.
What's the overwhelming emotion? Did you get out of jail after being 5 for, or you're just proud of the group that you stuck at it?
Probably a mixture of both, to be honest. I think, it's obviously not an ideal situation to find yourself in, being 5 for 20 on day one of a Shield game. But, I thought we showed some pretty good fight. I was really, really impressed with Harry Nielsen's knock. I think obviously a really talented cricketer who's, probably not scored as many runs in the past as what he would have loved. I think he's a quality player and, not just a keeper, but as a batsman as well. And, he really led that fight back with an amazing 90. And, I was just really proud of the fight we showed from that situation with the bat and then also with the ball once the wicket had flattened out to bowl them out and get ourselves back in the game. And then again with the bat, Jake Lehman and Nathan McSweeney and on the last day batting out beautifully for the draw. So, obviously, some pretty overwhelming issues there that we need to fix, but also some positives to take out of it.
1 for 4, 2 for 8, 3 for 12, 4 for 19, 5 for 25 when Harry Nielsen came in, and it was off 235 cods. But your knock was pretty damn good as well, 46 off 136 not out. You're enjoying the bat, Nathan?
Yeah, I've always enjoyed my time with the bat. I actually grew up an opening batsman until I was about 19 years old. So, I love spending time with the bat. And in those situations, it's sometimes just motivation because you don't want to start bowling yet. So, just try and bat for as long as you can because, it's going to be pretty tough work if you roll over. So, I relish any chance I can to get out in the middle and contribute with the bat. So, always good fun, especially on Adelaide Oval as well. It's one of the greatest in the world, and so any time you can get to spend out there in the middles is time well spent.
Well, Nathan, after that score, any talk of going up the order?
I don't know. Well, I started the season at 7 and I slid down to 9 this game, so I don't know. That's the order's out of my hands. I mean, whether I'm at 7 or 9 or find myself at 8, I'm not sure, but I'll just try and do my job wherever I'm put.
Fair enough. Now, the recovery after 5 for 25, were the conditions that difficult early? Was it really hooping around?
It certainly wasn't doing that much, I wouldn't say. They have
did we get ourselves out early, you reckon?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's sort of one of those periods where, everything's, the hypothetical stuff is hitting the fan and people go out and just get a roll on. And, they were swinging around. They bowled some good balls, but we also weren't as relentless in our defence and leaving the ball as well as we should have been. And I think it's fair to say that the top order played some shots that they knew, they'd maybe given their wickets away as opposed to just getting good balls. So they had some really honest conversations with each other after day one, and they talked about that, and I think the way they responded in the second innings was really positive to see. Jake Carter and Daniel Drew bat out the evening on day 3 really well, and then Jake Lehman and Nathan Sweeney bounced back on day 4 and bat through till tea to shake hands. I think they it's one thing to talk about it, but it's another thing to put those into words, put those words into action, and they clearly did that in the second innings. So that was really positive to see.
Yeah, and that's a credit to you, Nathan. On the back of that WA loss, we had Dizzy in here, and it was just awful to see how disappointed he was. And he said he feels like he's a broken record, and they know what's wrong, and you're working hard, and you've never worked harder and trained harder and connected and all of that. So that game could have gone one or two ways at 5 for 25, and this is what we were proud of. In actual fact, on air yesterday, did we or did we not, when the draw came through, had a standing ovation. Now, not that that's trying to make light hard of it, Nath, but it could have gone one or two ways, and you decided to go the hard way and grit and do it. My question on the back of that is, are you confident in the talent and how much of this is between the years? You've been around cricket for a long time, Nathan.
Yeah, I think a lot of this game is between the years. It's Ricky Ponting had the famous quote saying batting's 90% mental. So I'm certainly confident in the talent for sure. I really am. I think we've got some incredible young players, and I think we're probably, as Dizzy said, he's an incredibly passionate South Australian, and he wants to see us do well as well, and so do we, and we understand the South Australian public want to see us do well as well. So we understand those frustrations, and I think, as you said, that's something to be proud of, how we responded from Western Australia. I missed that game, and it was pretty tough watching on from afar, and I think the way we responded in that one-day game a couple of days later was really good. We nearly got out of there with a win. We fought through to the end and couldn't quite get over the line, but we fought to the end, and again, this week, when we were up against it, we fought hard and we didn't roll over. So, that's the kind of thing that can set a culture moving forward. And we have a young list that's going to continue to develop, but you can't sort of teach that culture and that fighting spirit. And I think the performances will come on the back of that. I've got full confidence in that, and hopefully we can head down to Tasmania next week and start well, because I think we're doing a great job of fighting once we get into games and get behind in games. But it's another thing to sort of land that first punch and start the game on top and try and drive the game into a win. So that'll be our challenge, to try and win the first session, whether we bowl or bat down there in Tasmania, and try and drive the game and come out of there with a win.
You mentioned the young list. Thomas Kelly back in the side there. How did he go?
Yeah, he's an incredible talent. He was quite tough work yesterday, actually, to be fair. He was next in the bat there for a while with Jake Lehman and Nathan McSweeney. He was sitting there with Pad Rash, and he's a bit of an energiser bunny, Tom Kelly. He doesn't shut up at the best of times. So he was bouncing off the walls. I think there was a bit of nervous energy going on with him, and he was just trying to release that in any way he could, and he chose the verbal route. But no, he's an incredible talent. We saw what he did in the Big Bash last year, and getting his opportunity, and he played a tremendous knock-up in Sydney in the one-day game against New South Wales a few weeks back as well. So, yeah, he's an incredible talent. He's already sort of becoming a bit of a fan favourite. He's obviously the local boy, and I think there's a bit of mayo goes on with his how much of a country boy he tries to act out. I think he's growing up in, I forget the suburb, but I think it's a pretty nice area in Sturt. So. No, he's an incredible talent and a great fella as well, so hopefully he can have plenty of success.
Yeah, I think he drove through the country once. That was about it, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so. I
flew over it in a plane. Nath, talking about driving the game, you do that. A 5 for a really good 46. Thanks for your time.
No dramas, guys. Thanks for having me.
Great chat. Nathan McAndrew there, SA Redbacks.
Yeah, and good to see them. Fight it out, because day one was putrid.
Well, we did. Did we or did we not?
That's
I
right.
said, come on, fellas, we've just got a draw. That is a gutsy draw. In the end, I think it was McSweeney 77 not out, and I think Junior Buff 68 carried the bat. That's fight, mate. That's called grit.
Just get the good start next week against the
Against
Tasmanians.
Tassie.
Because after the dizzy drive-by and then that in the first session, we thought, this is no good here. But well done to the Redbacks fighting it out. And well done to Nathan on his own individual performance. 13-5. Lecaliers re-signed with the Giants, the boy from Centrals. It's a great story in the AFL. We'll speak to him right after the break. First, let's check the traffic for your drive home. If you're buying a Mitsubishi, keeping up, Stephen, or getting your car serviced, head into the all-new Wavell Mitsubishi or Southern Mitsubishi.
At Clearview, a car fire on Hampstead Road near Follen Avenue in the Parklands. Roads are closed for the 500 on Fullerton Road at Wakefield Road. Got some inbound delays happening there. Urgent gas works at Eastwood on Green Hill Road near Birkin Street. The left-hand lane is closed outbound. Some slight delays Holbrooks Road between Hartley Road and Grange Road in both directions. The Rebel Black Friday sale is now on. Unwrap huge savings on skates, scooters, outdoor games and much more. Hurry, sale ends Monday. Rebel. Sport is calling. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
At Coles, make the most of your Black Friday shopping with 15% off selected gift cards, like the home and active gift cards. Offer ends November 29th, in-store only. Limits and T&Cs apply.
The most innovative paintbrush has arrived. The Monarch Advanced Neo. Paint with focus, flow. It's like everything disappears and the painting happens with ease. Designed with ultra-tapered technology which picks up and releases up to 25% more paint. Easier, faster, with a smooth finish every time. Wall brushes, sash cutters, oval cutters and mini cutters in various sizes to tackle any and every project. Available now at all paint specialists. Monarch Advanced Neo.
It is 10-5. When you want the freshest and finest seafood for a tasty, healthy seafood meal, go straight to the people that for 3 generations have served us South Aussies with quality seafood every day. Samtas Seafood, they're factory direct and open 7 days. The only way I can get it fresher is if I catch it on my boat.
I'll tell
That's
you
how
what,
damn good this mob is.
And get your ears on for this deal, my friend. Where else can you get 4 kilos of premium seafood for just $60?
Nowhere. No, you can't.
Impossible.
Samtas.
Yeah, Samtas. Snap frozen kilo packs of your favourites at Samtas. Now you can choose from Atlantic salmon, which I love, flathead, probably one of my favourites.
Oh, yeah.
The fillets there. Snapper and barramundi, crumb garfish, prawns, salt and pepper squid and more.
So it's an incredible range, no question. Fresh South Australian seafood, processed daily with factory direct prices. I say that again, factory direct prices. Beat this, freshly cooked on the premises, crayfish caught at the bottom of the tip of the York Peninsula, Pondalowie bait, fresh $77.80 per kilo. 2 years ago it was $150.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Half price.
Spencer Gulf King prawns, cooked and snap frozen at sea, with many sizes to choose. Mediums are $21.99.
Yep.
$27.99 for large. If barbecuing or garlic prawn is more your style,
yes.
Ocean Court South Australian raw prawns, $23.99. Boy, oh boy, I love Samtas.
Oh, you got to get this into your diet. Every week you should be eating this. Be quick and get to Samtas Seafoods. Sale on now. Open 7 days. Factory direct. Richmond Road, Richmond.
Do you hear that? It's back. The sound of rivalries ready to be unleashed. The sound of thousands of fans ready to rock. The sound of the most epic entertainment ever. The sound of the streets calling. It's the sound of the FIVEAA Adelaide 500. Returning December 1st to 4th. Visit adelaide500.com.au.
A shock absorber, CV joint, or maybe a bearing kit. It may seem like just a 4-drive part, but open it up and you'll find so much more. Each terrain tamer 4-drive part is the culmination of 50 years of experience. Every break, every lesson, every setback far from home strengthens everything we do. So when you break down miles from home and you drag out our number, you'll know you're in safe hands. That's the Terrain Tamer connection, and it comes free with every part.
I'm Peter Berkowitz from Berkowitz Furniture.
And I'm Justin Berkowitz.
There's 2 of us,
but only one Berk Friday sale, and it's just been extended to Sunday.
Enjoy up to 40% off famous Berkowitz quality and comfort.
That's 40% off sofas, recliners, dining tables, chairs, and more.
Brilliant. Our one and only Black
Berk, Dad. Berk.
Berk Friday sale has now been extended to Sunday. We're not just a furniture store.
We're a furniture family.
Mile End Homemaker Centre.
Walker Crash Repairs. For easy insurance repairs on your caravan. Get it fixed right with Walker Crash Repairs.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
8 minutes to 5. Fans of Lekalia is going to join us after 6 o'clock. So you can tune in for that if you're a fan of the Giants or Central's. Caroline Wilson after 5 o'clock. And a mystery moment, $950. We are one incorrect guess away, Timmy, from a new clue.
Absolutely we are, so get on to that. But, you know, we opened the show, Rowey, with the Justin Langer, explosive podcast that he came out with.
It was.
Basically calling Finch and Cummins cowards. So we're going to go to James at Clare. He's got his thoughts on it. G'day, James.
G'day, Tim. How you going,
Good,
guys?
mate.
When Justin took over the job, Australia cricket was low and we did not love them. I would describe them as petulant. And the job he did with the Australian cricket team in playing discipline into the team and all that, he did a fantastic job. He got feedback that he was too intense and all that, changed his ways. We won the T20. We played England in the Ashes and we won the Ashes. Yes, every coach has a use-by date, and his probably might have been up. So what Cricket Australia should have done is said, OK, Justin, we're not going to renew your contract. We want to give you a tour of duty. We want to thank you, guard of honour, the whole bit down the Hobart Test, and thank you as a nation for the job you've done. For Aaron Finch as a captain of Australia to say he doesn't like conflict, would Ian Michael Chappell be scared of conflict? And Cummins just be grateful that when he made his comments about Olympia Energy, it was the same day as the Hawthorn problem came up. Nick Hockley, Rowey, you went off the turnbuckle a while back about him, all right? And I put this whole situation at the feet of Cricket Australia because they run the game.
Absolutely.
The players don't, and they should have said, Justin, thank you for the job. Publicly say it. Guard of honour, Tassie Test, thank him. The whole crowd's thanking him. You can have yourself past players there, guard of honour, the whole bit. And we would still be in love with the Australian cricket team.
Yeah, James, I said it with Nick Hockley. We had him on. I said, you're giving the power to the players. That's a dangerous thing to do. And again, what's the end game for JL or Pat Cummins with this? They're not going to hug it up, are they? JL's not going to get his job back. And to offer JL 6 months.
I don't think they have to hug it up.
And I said this to Nick Hockley.
Yeah.
You knew JL would say no.
Look, at Rick's.
He's not going to sign for 6 months.
It goes back to you got to have really good organisation with really good managers in it.
Do.
And what you're basically saying is, I'll just let them deal with it. Well, unfortunately, no. There comes a time in an organisation where the governance has to come from the top.
Pull your big man pants on.
And you have to go and
drop
have those
them on the table and say, nick off.
So the conversation James was having there, that's got to come from the bosses.
Of course it does.
So Simon O'Donnell, former player, had this to say on the players.
I don't agree with how the players went about it and how they were portrayed in this. I don't like it. He wanted honest feedback. Well, he got the honest feedback. Cricket Australia, who then make the ultimate decision, have said, go on for another 6 months, but we're not going to risk going any further with what has just transpired. And Justin said no.
Yeah, simple, because they knew he'd say no. Well, he was managed out of the position, which was weak.
Again, a soft move. I've always described this as when you are managing any sort of team, and I'm talking work, you name it, if there's an issue and you don't address that issue properly,
Correct.
Over time it'll turn into a crisis.
It'll fester.
We're just heading into a crisis here.
An absolute festering sore, a big pussy ball that needed...
No, you don't need to go there. Wally the Walnut says on the text, Australian cricket, it's a civil
Tim?
war,
Have you
the
done
old
that?
versus new, the new generation a week, toughen up. Caroline Wilson has put some sense back into Stephen.
Before you do that, where are your standards?
Next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
This is RB Day with more tales from the bedroom thanks to Supercraft Bedding. Supercraft Bedding has been handcrafting mattresses since 1873. Now you'd think there's a bit of waste. Well, we've been recycling before it was on trend. Leftover foam is crumbed up and made into special positioning pillows for hospitals or affordable pillows for charity. This is RB Day for Supercraft Bedding, building better beds at 42 Richmond Road, Keswick.
Right now, there has never been a better time to save on Cooper tyres. Every Cooper tyre is on sale. You heard it right. This is a massive Cooper tyre sale like you have never seen before. Guaranteed to last up to 80,000 Ks. They're better value than ever. Visit coopertyres.com.au to find your nearest authorised retailer. T's and C's apply. In-store only. Be quick. Offer available for a limited time. Cooper Tyres. Tyres worth owning.
Get serious value this Black Friday with Aussie Broadband and save $120 over 12 months on selected high-speed NBN plans. Hurry, ends December 12. Visit aussiebroadband.com.au. New customers only. T's and C's apply.
What are your kids doing this summer?
They're enrolled in backswim.
It's not just swimming lessons, it's water safety.
They learn to keep themselves and others safe.
Never know when you need it.
Visit the VaxSwim website today for more information and to enrol.
Hi, Susanna Toop here. 31%. That's the number of our landlords who have been with Toop & Toop for over 10 years. Building long-term relationships with our clients is really important to us. Who are you trusting to look after your biggest investment? toop.com.au.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
If you're new to the whole Black Friday sales phenomenon, don't worry. All you need to know is you'll save heaps on a new phone from Harvey Norman. Oppo is one of the biggest phone brands in the world and they're making big waves in Australia now. The Oppo Find X5 Pro 5G will take your photography experience to new heights with an advanced camera system paired with super fast charging and 1 billion colour bionic display. Normally valued at $1,799, the Oppo Find X5 Pro is slashed to under $1,000. Buy it now from Harvey Norman for just $999. Why not treat yourself and start the new year with some amazing new tech? Your nearest Harvey Norman has all the latest.
Check out this great offer at 5AA.com.au. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
Switch on Black Friday at Officeworks. Get the Lenovo Flex 5 laptop for $547 or the Lenovo 29-inch ultra-wide monitor for $247. Hurry into Officeworks for lower prices.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Play tonight along with 13 with the 5 o'clock news. I'm Michaela Kamare.
10-year warranty and 10-year capped price servicing at Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth.
SA's biggest power station will close almost a decade earlier than expected. AGL Energy will now shut its Torrens Island B gas power station in June 2026. A new transmission line between SA and New South Wales and the switch to renewables has prompted the decision. 100 jobs are set to be slashed, but Energy Minister Tom Koutsantonis is hopeful the Whyalla generator project will retain skilled workers from interstate.
The South Australian Government is building its own 200 megawatt generator in Whyalla to try and return some of that sovereign capability back to South Australia that we're losing as a consequence of the interconnector.
New modelling on the flood crisis has been released this afternoon. The good news is predictions of up to 175 gigalitres a day in early December are unchanged, but the second peak in late December is now expected to be 185 gigalitres a day. Premier Peter Malinowskis says they're shoring up our defences.
1.5 million sandbags have now been sourced. That will progressively come into South Australia over the weeks ahead. And 4 kilometres of defence cell product will be dispatched rapidly to both places like Mannum and the Riverland more broadly.
The federal government says its National Anti-Corruption Commission will have teeth once the agency is legislated. The bill to establish the commission has passed the lower house and now moves to the Senate. It'll be able to compel politicians and other officials to give evidence. Attorney General Mark Dreyfus has told Parliament it's a major step forward.
Trust in government hit an all-time low in the most recent Australian election study. There's no doubt Australians at the 2022 election felt the same way. Something was broken and they wanted it fixed.
Australian police will continue to work with agencies overseas to make more arrests after breaking up a major international drug syndicate. $300 million worth of drugs has been stopped from reaching our streets following large seizures in Sydney and Los Angeles. 6 men are facing charges here, while a man has been arrested in LA. Federal Police Commander Kate Ferry says the US Department of Homeland Security played a key role.
What we've seen is a organised crime syndicate targeting Australia, operating on a global level. What it's taken to disrupt that organised crime syndicate is an international effort by law enforcement.
There's been another earthquake off the coast of Indonesia. The 5.1 magnitude quake has been recorded off the coast of Sumatra. It's about 10 kilometres below the surface. Meantime, at least 268 people have been killed in a quake which hit Java earlier this week. Now turning to 5AA sport, and Daniel Ricciardo has sealed his move back to Red Bull, signing on as the team's third driver for the 2023 Formula One season. He says it feels good to be back home.
Trying to just stay chill right now, but no, there is certainly a very warm, fuzzy feeling inside me, and nice to be back home. So yeah, this is it's cool. It's made me very happy.
Australia will face Croatia in the semi-finals of the Tennis Davis Cup after Croatia defeated Spain 2-0, and it's game day for the 36ers. They play the Wildcats in Perth. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Samri. They don't grade cheese, they do great things. Get into it at samri.org.au.
Cars on fire at Clearview on Hampstead Road near Follen Avenue. In the Parklands, got a road closure in place for the 500 on Fullerton Road at Wakefield Road, causing some inbound delays. Busy at the moment, Bolivar Road between Port Wakefield Road and Salisbury Highway in both directions. Holbrooks Road between Hartley Road and Grange Road also. Check your speed, Hanson Road, Athol Park. If you're sending gifts across the country this Christmas, make sure you get them in the post by December 12 to ensure they arrive in time. Spread the merry with Australia Post, Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Clear tonight, a low of 13. Sunny tomorrow, a top of 31. Saturday, a possible shower, 27. And Sunday, a possible shower and a top of 20. Right now, it's 22 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
Christmas cash-in. Why Adelaide's children can't book to visit the Magic Cave for free. 9 exclusive. What really happened on the Grange runaway train. An SA power station shutting down. What it means for your household bills. The surprise medications helping shed stubborn extra kilos. And we preview the Black Friday sales. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News Tonight at 6.
The 5AA Sports Show.
What a kick!
Rowey and Timmy G.
5 minutes after 5, very shortly Caroline Wilson will join us. Lots going on in the footy world, even if it is out of season. Also this hour, your chance to win $950 with a mystery moment, all thanks to the Burrows. Our Where Are They Now for Walco, Socceroos legend. You could almost drop the Socceroos, Timmy, just legend
just
all
legend.
round.
That'll do in general.
A man who knew how to find the back of the net. And the Superbikes are on at the Bend this weekend, so we'll speak to one of the riders from South Australia, hoping he goes well. Interesting text coming through that says about the Kookaburras, Timmy.
It says, Arvo, guys, the Kookaburras playing India in the hockey at Jeps Cross? Well, yes, they are. There's actually going to be a 5-game series on that.
Indeed. So
and we've got a couple of special guests coming in.
We do. Co-captain Eddie Ockenden will be here. Jeremy Hayward will be here, two of the defenders. So if you love your hockey, if you want to see the best hockey team on the planet, you can do so here in Adelaide. So they're playing on Saturday, they're playing on Sunday, a couple of days off. They've got a game on the Wednesday and then the following weekend. So for us to get them, it's been a long time since the Kookaburras have been in Australia.
Correct.
Or in Adelaide, rather.
Was it 2009?
Yeah. It's well over a decade. So get out to Jeps Cross and check it out at the Mate Stadium over the next week and a half. Caroline Wilson joins us each and every Thursday, though, all thanks to the great team at the Harvey Norman Clearance Centre. We're talking great range, manufacturer's warranties, 919 Marion Road, Marion.
Yes, Caroline Wilson. I describe as a super journo. If there was such a thing, she'd be wearing a cape. Don't worry about
Would
that.
she?
Super journo, that's what I say. Welcome, Caroline.
Have I got Tim and Stephen? Do I recognise these compliments?
Well, I don't know. Cape and spandex and, lycra suits. And
Absolutely. And I'd imagine she'd have a few superpowers.
Okay. Do you, Caro?
Well, I think we should just get back to talking football, boys.
I don't know where my copper was going with that because...
I think she can make fools disappear. Okay. So now, Caroline, talking about Magic Round, what's the latest?
Well, look, there is a name, but I can't tell you what it is because I don't know. But I gather they've settled on one, and those who know the name are a bit disappointed in it, but I can't say any more about that. I know that the AFL team was back in South Australia again yesterday, still looking at regional grounds. The favourite now seems to have moved to the Adelaide Hill, Stephen, and Mount Barker.
Yes.
Well, there's a new complex up there.
We will be in Mount Barker on Thursday, so we can have a look ourselves.
That is probably the best ground in South Australia, bar Adelaide Oval.
Should have just paid us to go up there and have a look. Yeah.
Well, look, it's obviously a beautiful part of the world. I think, look, some great venues in the Barossa, but really not big enough. Ditto Victor Harbour, and obviously Mount Barker isn't over the line, but that would be the most likely if there is going to be a regional game. They're having all sorts of problems with the fixture at the AFL. Obviously, they would love to fixture Adelaide on the Thursday night or the Friday night, but because the Crows have not exactly been a headline act in recent years, it's going to be difficult. One of Port or Adelaide will feature on one of those nights, and because they're not likely to get many Thursdays and Fridays this year, certainly early in the season, they'll have to forego one of their 5-day breaks, probably, to get that done, because the round comes straight before the Anzac Day round. It sort of rules out Richmond, Melbourne, Collingwood and Essendon from those Thursday and Friday fixtures, given the long break that they would then have leading into, I think Anzac Day falls on a Tuesday next year. And it's pretty extraordinary. I know they've taken a while to get this sorted. A lot of people have been sceptical about this Festival of Football. I think it's a fantastic idea. I'm thrilled it's in Adelaide, but I can't believe the clubs have to wait now until the second week of December to get a fixture. I just think that's unacceptable.
Yeah, I do too. So, what are they, understaffed in there? I mean, I know Gill's staying till April, but something's amiss.
Well, can anyone do the job but Gillen? Is that the impression we've all been given?
Yes.
I think it's crazy that this announcement that he's now staying till the end of April.
Correct.
I'm absolutely amazed. I'm pretty disappointed too, and I know the clubs involved have raised an eyebrow at this, that he's not attending the grand final on the weekend. I know he planned an overseas trip and he thought he'd be gone, but the grand final date has been known for a while, and you can change bookings by a couple of days. I don't know how important this overseas trip is. Maybe it could certainly be changed and the AFL could put the bill, but anyway, he won't be at the grand final. And, you know, we spoke about the grand final venue last week, and how disrespectful I still believe it's been to the women that not only did they have to wait a long time to get the venue, but we're also pretty disappointed that the clubs don't know any of the rules for next year. They don't know the player movement rules. Some clubs are very upset at the AFL, who they believe are trying to coerce players to leave their foundation clubs or to leave their clubs to go and join new clubs. They don't see that as the AFL role, and I tend to agree with them. I mean, if you were Brisbane and one of your star players was being encouraged by an AFL boss to go and play at a new club like Hawthorn, you wouldn't be all that happy, would you?
No, not at all.
I don't.
I was going to ask you, Caroline, just for me, if you're one of those internal candidates, say a Travis Auld or a Kylie Rogers, would you be thinking, doesn't look like it's me?
Well, I would, Tim. But interestingly, Travis Auld has told the Essendon Football Club, and we've heard his name linked with the Essendon CEO's job, and Essendon have gone quite hard at Travis Auld. He has told, I'm told, that he's told Essendon he's not a candidate for the CEO's job because he's all in the AFL job, which tells me that he hasn't been ruled out. So he's on that shortlist. Andrew Dillon is also on the shortlist. Brendan Gale, I can tell you, is on the shortlist.
Okay.
And I agree. I mean, if you knew that the internal candidate or one of the internal candidates was the right person for the job, why the hell are you putting it off now till April? What it tells me is that they weren't happy with the candidates in front of them, and the clubs are saying, not only does this slow down all the other appointments that need to be made, we don't have a CBA, and the negotiations are really only just starting. Ray Gunston, the former AFL executive and former Essendon interim CEO, who sadly died earlier this year, is a very big part of those negotiations. But you can't just blame the delay with the CBA on the absence of Ray Gunston, who used to kick it off. So clubs still don't know their distributions next year. The commission is still 3 members down. So all in all, I think if this was a normal company, you'd be saying, what the hell is the board doing? And what I'm sort of thinking about the board is that the faith Richard Goyder has in Gillan McLachlan is well placed, but it's time to move on.
It's borderline on rudderless, Caro, and if it was a listed company, the shares would be dropping.
And yet, you know, had Gillan gone straight after the grand final, I mean, I know that the Hawthorn First Nations report and review created enormous, it was so upsetting, and there was a view that Gillan McLachlan needed to stick around to put the parameters in place to start that investigation. Well, he's done that. And I don't see, this could go on for years.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty weird what's going on, most unusual. And I don't really, as good as Gillan is, I don't believe he's irreplaceable. And I think to get this impression that he is has been pretty disappointing. And by the way, I think Kylie Rogers, while her name was mentioned earlier, I don't think she's a candidate for the role by her own decision. I think for personal reasons she decided she wouldn't put her hat in the ring. So,
yep. Okay. Fair enough.
Put your hand in a bucket of water and take it out. You know what happens? It just closes over. He's not irreplaceable.
Not
he
at
won't
all.
talk to us.
Hey, Caroline, I was just wondering, because it now looks like the second week of December to get an AFL fixture out, it would affect every other competition in the country. They all wait, don't they?
Yep. So, I mean, we know the first game will be on the Thursday night and that it's going to be Richmond versus Carlton. We know there won't be a showdown in round one because the AFL don't really like to waste such a big game when it's a big round anyway. I can tell you North Melbourne will get Good Friday again. But I think it will foolhardy experiment with Good Friday, which I don't like, but it will be North Melbourne again. I'm not quite sure who they're going to play.
Port. Make them play Port, the JHF game.
Oh, come on, that's a bit rough.
Jason Moore Francis game, the old JHF game, Caro.
Use your magic powers.
Good Friday, that'd be an absolute humdinger.
Do it now, Caroline.
I think, well, there was talk that might be, that's certainly something they're looking at for the Festival of Footy round.
Oh, yeah, that'd be even better.
There you go.
No, but it's only going to be good when it's in Melbourne.
Melbourne audience.
It needs to be in Melbourne, I think, that one, Caro. Anyway. Hey,
The only other thing I wanted to say is that we mentioned Hawthorn and that First Nations report. I think the CEO of that football club, Justin Reeves, is under a huge amount of pressure. We know they're going through a very bitter infighting at the moment, bit of a civil war. I think that the Jeff Kennett candidate will lose, Peter Nankerville, and the former player Andy Gowers, who was pledged by Jeff Kennett recently, will win. Probably win quite easily, but we won't know the result of that election until early December. So we've got Jeff Kennett very vocal in the lead up to the Victorian state election, which is on Saturday. And always good to watch him on the telly on Channel 7. You probably don't if you're over in South Australia, but he likes to have a couple of whiskeys early on, and the commentary's always pretty interesting.
I love him.
And equally, he's been pretty vocal in the lead up to this Hawthorn election, where we've seen, Chris Langford and Don Scott and everybody kick in. I think people have been trying to get the Jeff Kennett side's trying to get Luke Hodge to take sides, and Luke Hodge has said, "Not on your Nelly. Will I be saying anything publicly?" So
Smart,
it's amazing to see that club so embroiled in such bitterness.
And Brett Ratton just joined it.
He's joined North Melbourne.
Oh, sorry, North Melbourne.
Yeah,
he's gone. Yeah, sorry, he was at
He's gone to work
Hawthorn,
with,
but he's just gone to work with Alistair Clarkson. Yeah.
Well, Jeff Kennett came out and said Andy Gowers was football manager when all that stuff was going on with the alleged racism. Well, how do you think Alistair Clarkson and Chris Fagan feel with that comment? They're saying that there was nothing to see here, and they're saying they were innocent. No, I'm not saying that's correct. But, Jeff was president for some of that time as well.
Correct.
He's all over the place at the moment, Jeff. But, yeah, look, it's great to see Brett Ratt so quickly get a job. Not surprising. What happened at St Kilda, whether or not it was the right decision will remain to be seen, but he was treated appallingly.
Caroline, the part-time bit just threw me a bit. He's only part-time, they said.
Yes, well, that's because North Melbourne have serious issues with their football department, Softcat.
Okay.
Spondula. Hey, can we get back to the Hawthorn racism investigation, Caro?
Sure.
Where are we at? All parties talking. Is it going to be settled by the second week of December as they were hopeful to do? What's an update with it?
The panel is in place. Interviews are starting. There is no way in the world this will be resolved by the second week of December. I think it will drag on into next year and long into next year. There is certainly a lot of lawyers involved, specifically for Alistair Clarkson and Chris Fagan. Jason Bird is also part of it. There's no suggestion that Andrew Newbold will go back onto the commission anytime soon while this investigation goes on, and I think that's appropriate. I think that that if he were to do that, then families who are prepared to speak to this investigation are going to be very unhappy about that, and I think would withdraw. And there's still a lot of people who have made these allegations who have said they don't trust the investigation and they won't be part of it.
Oh, God, it's a lose-lose, isn't it? I do feel for Clarko and Fags. I mean, they've got to get on with their lives, get on with their jobs. They've got this mud just hanging about. If all parties aren't going to speak and it's just going to be played out in the courts, if you like, the end game has to be this: somebody wants money, Caro.
I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. Although I think that if Alistair Clarkson is found to be innocent of the allegations that were made about him, I think that I'm sure he will sue the ABC. Absolutely certain about that.
100 miles an hour.
But we don't know whether or not the allegations are correct or whether they're nuanced. I think that the motivation for the families is to change the culture at football clubs. And there's no doubt that culture at some football clubs where Indigenous players are concerned and other staff has not been ideal, and it's been worse than not ideal. But I just think even in the end, an independent body probably should have been the one that, and an independent national body, whether it's a sporting arbitration body or, I think the fact that the AFL appointed them, had any say in appointing them, was really quite difficult. But the real anger now, the real anger among the football community is at the Hawthorn Football Club. But doing this investigation, putting a weird timeline around it, and then the minute the findings appeared, sort of dumping it on the AFL. I think there's a lot of anger at Hawthorn.
Oh, there is. If the end game is every AFL club has an Indigenous liaison officer and a board member,
they do already have a liaison officer, but it has to go further than that. I agree about the board member.
Okay. Hey, are we saying adios amigos, Merry Christmas, thanks for your year?
No, she's back next week.
Oh,
going to give our top 10.
I'll be back in the first week of December to do my top 10 stories for the year.
Fantastic.
It'll take me that long to work on it. I tell you, there've been so many.
Fantastic. And let's hope that there's no crow stories in that, Caro. You really do. I shouldn't say it.
You want that superpower, don't you, Caroline?
Caro, please say it so we can clip it and play it
Yeah.
constantly.
Well, you flip-flop all over the place, that's what I was going to say.
You are so easy to wind up now, Caro. I used to have to really work hard on you, but now you're like putty in my hands.
You are an idiot.
There it is. Been a long year.
Caro, see you next week.
Bye, boys.
Well done. Caroline Wilson, our guest.
All thanks to the Harvey Norman Clearance Centre.
Yeah, well, it is, and if I had the credit here, I'd read it. Well, here we go. Yeah, Caro, thank you. Harvey Norman Clearance Centre. Nick Carasoulis will get cross with me.
We've been there. We've been
Love
there.
that, man.
Loved it.
From cooking appliances to washing machines, dishwashers, TVs and more. Don't know why I put that inflection on, but I just think it just rolls
And
off
wine
a bit
fridges
better.
as well.
There's new stock arriving weekly, all with manufacturer's warranties, and that's the great thing about that warranty store. Harvey Norman Clearance Centre, 919 Marion Road, Marion. Bring us Caroline Wilson.
Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, we'll get the flip and the flop. We'll get that. That will be in the system as well. We're looking forward to that.
You really need to grow up.
Exactly, Caro. Time for
The 5AA Sports Show Mystery Moments.
It's happening. It's happening.
Serious coin, Tim Ginniver. $950 for the Barrows, the $17 Schnitty, Monday to Wednesday, the Albion, the Birkenhead, the Excelsior, the Lighthouse Wharf Hotel. The clue is
Hamilton.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, if they get it wrong, tonight.
$1,000 new clue.
It's a new clue.
I reckon I play Caro like a German band, to be honest.
Oh, hello.
I do. Do you think I do?
That'll get back.
No. Oh, yeah, I do.
Here's what she once said about this particular show.
Tim, you're the same one here.
Yeah, that is right.
Could you get a real little kick out of your
Love
little
it.
Caroline
It's my
Wilson thing, don't you?
absolute favourite. Buying Mitsubishi, getting your car service, head to the all-new Wavell Mitsubishi or Southern Mitsubishi.
In the Parklands, roads are closed for the 500 on Fullerton Road at Wakefield Road, causing some inbound delays. A burst water main at Hillbank Blacktop Road near Williams Road. Urgent gas works at Eastwood Green Hill Road near Birkin Street. The left-hand lane is closed outbound. Busy at the moment, Bolivar Road between Port Wakefield Road and Salisbury Highway in both directions. And Old Brooks Road between Hartley Road and Grange Road. Westfield Week of Offers is on. Open till 9 tonight and tomorrow with giveaways, kids entertainment and huge savings centre-wide. Westfield, Marion, Tea Tree Plaza and West Lakes. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Everyday low prices, any time of year. Trust the mighty South Aussies. Great food lives here. Foodland. The mighty South Aussies, yeah. Foodland. The mighty South Aussies, yeah. The mighty South Aussies, yeah.
Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options, Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. It's all part of the Toyota Forklift Advantage. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift.
G'day, it's Eddie May from NRG Solar here. Everything is going up. We're seeing it in fuel, interest rates, in our everyday shop, even the humble lettuce. But there's one thing that's really going to bite. It's the hike in electricity, and it's not going away unless you do something about it. At NRG Solar, we'll show you how to zero out your energy bills with NRG solar panels and battery storage. So get in touch with NRG Solar today and start saving. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
25 past 5. Jack from Littlehampton's pumped he's got it. He hasn't. I don't even know what it is.
Find out.
No chance.
Nobody knows paint like Crowies, and I should know because I used to be a commercial painter, not just any old painter.
When's the last time you painted?
No. About 2 weekends ago. Had a couple of little touch-ups around the house.
Mark Minkin's house?
Yeah, I did Rubbers' house. It was probably the last big one. Here's the thing you're going to love about your local Crowie store. They have all the answers. And if they do, it makes it so much easier for you. Doesn't matter what you're painting or staining, they'll be able to help. Now, they like to ask questions too, just so they provide you with the best solutions. Doesn't matter if you're painting a chair, a door, a wall, a house, a shed or a skyscraper. Call into your local Crowie store and they'll help you out. If it's timber, metal, tiles or steel, render wallpaper, coating for boats, trucks, tractors, whatever you're painting, Crowies can help, and you'll love their prices too. Best advice saves you time as a painter. You get the best advice, the right paint, it will save you time and money. Trust me. And remember, Crowies only sell premium quality paint.
Yeah.
Visit crowiespaints.com.au for a store near you.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide Tech Guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
If you're new to the whole Black Friday sales phenomenon, don't worry. All you need to know is you'll save heaps on a new phone from Harvey Norman. Oppo is one of the biggest phone brands in the world and they're making big waves in Australia now. Experience immersive entertainment, view vivid and colourful images, perfect for today's trendsetters. The Oppo Find X5 5G sports a frosted matte glass with a silky gloss feel, but what really makes it stand out for the crowd is its powerful 50 megapixel camera and vivid colour screen with 1 billion colour display. Normally valued at $1,399, the Oppo Find X5 is slashed to $899. Why not treat yourself and start the new year with some amazing new tech? Your nearest Harvey Norman has all the latest.
Check out this great offer at 5AA.com.au. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
Get started on your to-do list before summer hits. Whether it's plumbing, electrical or something else, RAA Trade Assist is ready to help our members. Don't rely on a DIY, let RAA Trade Assist do it. Visit raa.com.au/trade assist for more info and
Keep on moving on.
Scraped your caravan? Don't worry. Call Walker Crash Repairs, your RAA approved caravan crash repairer.
The 5AA Sport Show. Rowey and Timmy G. The 5AA Sport Show. Mystery Moments.
It's happening. It's happening.
Well, it's worth $950 for the Barrow Hotel. Get along and enjoy Snitty Monday to Wednesday, $17. Your choice of the Albion, the Birkenhead, the Excelsior, the Lighthouse Wharf. Timmy?
Tell you what, you'd get a few schnitters with $950. Let's go and see what Jack thinks. Jack, you've got the clue. Hamilton, do you have the mystery moment?
I think I do, boys. How are we?
Excellent.
Good. That's good. All right, I think the year was 2007, maybe 06. Not sure on the year.
That doesn't matter.
It was Dwayne Levrock, a robunchous lad, I think you could say, from Bermuda, took a one-handed catch, and you get some of the best bit of commentary from Bumble Lloyd straight afterwards. So that's my guess.
Hang on. Is it 06 or 07? Because I think that's important.
I don't think it is, Jack. But
Yeah, I do.
I'll tell you what is important, Jack. How did you weave Hamilton into all that?
I believe that's where old mate Dwayne was born, in Bermuda. I think so. I was trying to make a connection.
All right.
I will stand corrected. I don't think that's David Lloyd's commentary.
Okay.
I don't think that's Bumble Lloyd.
It's not Bumble, but he comes in afterwards and makes an array of funny comments.
Jack, is it 07 or 08?
I reckon it's 07. I'm going to go with 07, but I think it was kind of like...
Oh, my boy, wowee. 900 big ones for the bros. How good's that, Jack?
I'm stoked. Perfect timing. Christmas coming up. You beauty. Thank you.
Hey, Jack.
Well done, Jack.
Just done the maths. You can buy 55.8 schnitzels Monday to Wednesday at the Barrows.
Jack.
I'd put those away easy.
I'll double it if you can get Dwayne Leverock's absolute weight correct.
Weight, I reckon he's pushing 150s, maybe 156.
156. Right, I'll Google that and I'll hold you to it.
Let's go back to 2007 and that catch.
And taken, what a catch! That's a stunning catch! Sensational catch, he's celebrating. It's happening for Bermuda. Leverock the catcher.
He's on a lap of honour, where is he? He ain't over there. He's miles away, here he is, the big man, the fridge has opened.
There is Bumble. Nicely
brilliant.
done, Jack.
Well played, Jackie. You even knew that. Well done, mate. Well deserved.
Yes. Just a quick shout out to my fiance. I actually listened to the podcast, so I didn't have a radio because the podcast is obviously delayed. So she went out, bought me a radio. I'll have to pay her back now.
You will. He's listed. He's listed on Wikipedia. Do we believe Wikipedia?
Not all.
Yeah, let's go with it.
At 138.
Okay.
Oh.
Bit out. But,
sorry, Jack.
Jack, just maybe slip the missus a 50 for that. That
Good on you,
mate.
Jack.
Good man.
For the Barrows.
Thank you, boys.
Well done. $950.
It was a fair catch too, because
a good catch.
I just had a quick look at it while I Googled it. He
Great
dived
catch.
to his right.
He's a big boy.
Outstretched.
He is.
Yep.
If he had hit the ground, there would have been an earthquake.
But it's the way he gets up and takes off.
Oh, he just
keeps
bolted.
running.
He just ran.
What is it? Weight plus velocity equals momentum. Like he's got a bit going through that big rig of his. So well done. A nice little shout out too.
Good on you, Jack.
Hopefully that'll be a new thing for the winner of the mystery moment. Well done. Jack has won $950.
Yeah, good
Brand new moment tomorrow. Where are they now? Next.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
The SA Liberal Party has decided to go all out on the issue of ramping. The Libs have started a citywide letterboxing campaign. We've had texts from listeners everywhere saying it's not just in the seat of Dunstan, it's in Morphett too, Hahndorf, with ambulance times being a big issue in the hills.
Informing Adelaide.
Quite clearly, the Libs have decided that they're going to try to nail Labor to the wall on its promise.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. AGL Energy has brought forward the shutdown of its Torrens Island B gas power station by nearly a decade. Police in both Australia and overseas are hoping to make more arrests after they broke up a major drug syndicate. The countdown's on to the new look Adelaide 500, with the first road closures starting tomorrow, and former St Kilda coach Brett Ratton will join North Melbourne as a part-time assistant coach. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Unley got a major crash on Green Hill Road at Peacock Road. Our Cabinet truck has broken down on Port Wakefield Road near Churchill Road North. The left-hand lane is closed outbound with crews on scene. Got a road closure in place for the 500 in the Parklands. It's on Fullerton Road at Wakefield Road, causing some inbound delays. A speed camera Martins Road Greenfields. It's the 40 Winks Black Friday online sale. Go online and get 50% off mattresses and 30% off furniture. Exclusions apply. Ends Cyber Monday. 40 Winks, serious about sleep. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Clear tonight, a low of 13, sunny tomorrow, a top of 31. Currently it's 22 degrees. More news at 6 o'clock and As It Happens on 5AA.
Hello, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, the team at Lynn Andrews Real Estate have made it easy to manage residential and commercial property. Whether you own a single residential home or multiple commercial properties, our passion for property investment means we have a great deal of knowledge to share. How to invest safely and properly. Matching the right tenant with the right property every time. We're here to help. Visit lynandrews.com.au.
Go Toyota certified pre-owned at North Point Toyota and enjoy the same feeling you get with a new Toyota. North Point Toyota's certified pre-owned vehicles come with a 90-point safety check, carry a full service history, and now an extra 1-year warranty. North Point Toyota certified pre-owned vehicles are in a class of their own. It's the North Point way. Go Toyota certified pre-owned at North Point Toyota, Hillcrest Prospect, Port Augusta, or search northpointtoyota.com.au.
It's Cheap as Chips Black Friday sale. And holy chip, these deals are cheap.
Cheap as chips.
Don't miss daily deals across the Black Friday period. Save $80 on an airless paint sprayer. Saturday and Sunday, get $100 off Mount Splashmore Mega Water Park. And Monday, get 50% off a 270cm inflatable Christmas dragon. Grab our gift guide catalogue for more amazing Black Friday weekend deals. Live cheaper with Cheap as Chips. In-store or online.
Concrete. It's not always dull and grey. At Outback Sleepers,
Our concrete is stylish and inspiring. Outback sleepers come in a variety of colours and patterns, from plain through to sandstone, rock and slate textures. And they're all designed to last for generations by a company that only manufactures concrete sleepers. If your builder is not using Outback sleepers, you need to be asking why not. Trust the brand Outback Sleepers, sold at over 60 local landscaping and hardware stockists. outbacksleepers.com.au.
I was a passenger in a serious crash when a car came out of nowhere. My life was completely turned upside down and I couldn't return to work. This was emotionally and financially overwhelming. But with my free meeting with Marnie's lawyers, I found out I was able to make a claim. They gave me advice about my rights and offered a no-win, no-fee payment arrangement. Thanks to the team at Marnie's, I received the compensation I was entitled to.
Marnie's Lawyers, injury compensation experts. marnies.net.au.
Walker Crash Repairs. For easy insurance repairs on your caravan. Get it fixed right with Walker Crash Repairs.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
One of the all-time greats. In just 1 second for Walco. First, Rowey's pulling on the Lycra. North Point Toyota's Rowey's Ride to Rusden for the Make-A-Wish Foundation Saturday week. Rowey and 20 cyclists, including Tim. Sweat coming down the brow now.
You might be in the Brad
Let's just qualify that. He just destroyed me. He's a powerful rider.
It is an epic ride. Highmarsh Square to Rusden Winery in the beautiful Barossa. We'd love your support so we can grant some wishes for kids who need it. So listen all next week to Rowey and Timmy G from 4 o'clock for your chance to win some brilliant auction items. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. You can also donate at roweysride.com.au. Get behind the folks on the North Point Toyota Rowey's Ride to Rusden for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I believe in you, though, Tim.
Jack and Jill went up the hill. Well, I came tumbling up.
Yeah, Jill came down with a bucket and a quarter.
Of time. Our Where Are They Now? It's all thanks to the great team from Walco. You can get yourself a Walco blankie for your pool this summer. Save water, evaporation and money. Visit walco.com.au.
The 5AA Sports Show's Where Are They Now? Past legends, past glories.
Well, we love theming these, and the Socceroos played the other night. My next guest played in 45 games for the Socceroos, scored 29 times, altogether 596 career games, an absolute legend. 334 goals. He was prolific. I speak of Damien Morey. Damien, welcome.
Thank you.
I did some research on you, young man. I thought I knew everything about you because I've watched you all the way through your career. I didn't know you were born in Victoria.
Yeah, that's the good part of me.
No, it's not.
Yeah, the better part's become now South Australian. That was good. Now I'm even better being here in South Australia.
Well said. How did we lure you to Adelaide City? How'd that all happen?
Actually, I was at the Olympics with Carl Viet in '92, and we became quite good friends. And then Zoran Madic was over there. My wife was actually from Adelaide, so I think that helped. And probably all come together. Adelaide City was a very powerful team back then, and things just aligned, and it made sense to come. And so I came straight after the Olympics.
It was one of the great eras of, I think, soccer in this country, but Adelaide City had a fantastic little window there, and you just mentioned his name. Zoran Madic just was able to put all that together, wasn't he?
Yeah, look, I think Zoran was a great coach, a great person as well. So, as hard as he was as a coach, outside of the game, he was a fantastic person. And even still today, we're friends, and he looks after you if you needed help. So I think what he did with that club was, yes, the game was a great club, but he made it even better because he actually looked after his players as much on the park as off the park.
You mentioned Carl was a teammate and also at national level, but talk about some of your other teammates during that era with Adelaide City.
Yeah, well, there was plenty. You had, I think at one stage there was 5 Socceroos. You had Zabeka, Alex Tobin. You had Milan Ivanovic, Tony Vidmar, you had Aurelio Vidmar in those era.
Wow.
I may have missed some others, but it was a very strong team at the time.
Yeah.
And then you had Joey Mullen that was in before that, and then I don't think Schiller ever did make an Australian team, but probably deserved. You had Serge Melter as well. So it was a very powerful team, very strong club.
How good were those derby years, Damien? I mean, I used to go to the odd one, Juventus versus Hellas. You know, it was just Italy versus Greek. You know, Adelaide City versus West. We should have kept it that way, I reckon. There, yeah.
Yeah, look, you know, the thing is with the A-League, and if you were to compare the two leagues, right, the problem was with the old NSL, yes, it had the ethnic, but most clubs do. If you look all over the world, there's clubs that are in Spain that are English-founded, and, you know, it's everywhere. Obviously, if we probably had, and I'm just saying, if we had the funds that the A-League had now put into the NSL at the time, we could only wish, would it be better, would it be the same? No one knows. But the only thing is, clubs take time to create fan base, create history, and it's the same as the Crows, same as Port Adelaide, you know, and it takes time. And the A-League struggles a little bit in that these clubs have just come out of nothing and they don't have a fan base, they have an area. And some of the clubs struggle, where I think Adelaide is pretty lucky in that, you know, Adelaide United gets the whole state behind them. We get a good following. Yeah, I think that's worked here. I think it hasn't worked in other states where other clubs were a lot bigger. I mean, I think we saw that in the Cup when Sydney United played Macarthur. And I think Sydney United had 10,000 fans there in a Cup game, which Sydney United being in the MPL. Yeah. So obviously there is room for clubs to come in, and I think they're well aware of it. They're creating a second division now, so only time will tell.
Well, if Nord and Port were the two AFL teams, imagine that, and imagine if Juventus and Hellas were the two A-League teams. Wow. Two-time Johnny Warren medalist, you hold a world record for the fastest goal ever.
I held.
Yeah, well, here we go. Talk us through that 3.69 second goal, Damien Morey.
Well, there's not a lot to talk about because I didn't do a lot of thinking. I think what happened was the goalkeeper was calling to the bench for a hat or a drink.
Really?
And I just said, I just said, I think I'm going to shoot. And I never thought about it. When he passed to me, I just shot, and the rest was history. I thought it would have made me $1 million and a millionaire, but no, it didn't do really much. I think we sold 2 shirts. And that was it.
Come on.
And then 6 months later, it got beaten.
Oh, that's incredible.
Damien, 5 times you left Adelaide City and returned. That would have to be another world record, coming back to your original club. That is unreal.
You said not 5 times.
I went through your record. How many times did you leave and come back
So
then?
what happened was, let me be clear on the 5. So I played Adelaide City in the NSL. I left Adelaide City once to go play with Perth Glory.
Yeah.
Then I came back to coach Adelaide City in the MPL.
Yeah.
So I was at the MPL at the time, and then in that off-season I was getting loaned out to some of the A-League clubs. So I went to Perth Glory on loan, come back to Adelaide City. I was always Adelaide City player. I was only being loaned. So I was player-coach at the time. So I got loaned Perth Glory, and then I got loaned to Brisbane Mariners to play.
Oh, wow. Unreal.
So I was training here. I never left the state. I trained here and flew in for games for about 3 years.
That's amazing.
Well,
so I never left.
Well, no, you never left. Well, okay. I just Googled you, and in actual fact, there were. Yeah, well, okay.
He was selling
done,
best bricks.
He was indeed. The whole time he was
too.
there. Hey, Damien, what about your time as a manager? How have you found that transition?
Yeah, it's been good. We had some success a lot of success in the early years at NPL with Adelaide City. It's difficult. I think, like I said, you enjoy coaching. It's passion. I enjoy the training side of it. Game days really for the players, and I think, and I'm being really honest here. And people, you can coach, but when you've played, there's nothing like playing as the feeling when you're coaching. Like you win the game on the weekend, then you're already thinking for next weekend when the players get to enjoy the night. You know what I mean? You win a trophy, and then you're already thinking next year, what I've got to do to win another one. And it's a different, and I think, like I said to my players, and whatever level you ever get to play at, enjoy the time, enjoy the winning, because nothing beats playing, and it just doesn't. And that's why I think, as a coach, you can do only so much, and it's really up to the players to really go out there and enjoy themselves and win games. You put that, and I think that's the way I look at it.
Well,
I love coaching, but nothing beats playing.
Spot on. Damien, probably one of the best games I've ever seen you play wasn't actually the round ball. It was when you represented Port Adelaide in a slowdown. Do you remember that at Adelaide Oval?
Yes, I did. I only got one one gig, I thought I'd get enough to get a caller.
I couldn't believe how quick you were, mate. You're unbelievable. Speed off the mark.
That was when I was 33. I don't know if I was quick or the Crows players were just slow.
hang on, Turbo. I might have played that game. You ran past me. Are you a Port man, Damien?
He is
yes,
now.
And now I love sport. I am now because I wanted to play more times for Port. No, I like Port. They were black and white at the time.
There you go.
That was good. Yeah.
Let's talk about your Socceroos. 45 caps. You debuted in 92 against Solomon Island. Scored plenty of goals. How'd you enjoy that time, Damien?
Yeah, that was great. I think, you know, as a player, and sometimes you don't appreciate things as they're happening because your life's going so quick with sport. You know, you play for your country, and then, you know, you come and you play, and because you get to that level and you get the opportunity to play, sometimes you don't quite appreciate it until you stop playing. And again, some people say they do, but I believe you don't. You know, like we went to the Olympics in 92. We did the Olympic Games. When we're there to do a job, and you sort of don't embrace what you're actually doing. You're at Olympic Games. You know, it's one of the biggest events in the world. You don't. You know, you just focus on playing. And the same with the national team. It's a team. You know, you get to play for your country. So proud to do that. But at the same time, you're there to do a job. And it's probably now that when you sit back, you remember and you reflect on the things that you did and you achieved. And I think that gives you good feelings.
Yeah, Eddie Thompson was coach back then. Paul Warren was the captain. They were the glory days. What did you think of the Socceroos v France, Damien?
Yeah, look, you know, you have to be fair. I mean, you're talking about a team that's got the world's best players.
Correct.
And we didn't do ourselves injustice. We were never supposed to win. We scored a goal early, but the true soccer person understands when you watch a game, you've got the two boys up front which play for PSG, Barcelona, and I mean they're miles in front, and the fullbacks that we've got are not playing in the same level. So yeah, you can say what you like, but if you're not playing at those levels and your players aren't playing, so we got no one playing in the EPL. We don't have anybody playing in, I think, the French top leagues, the German top league. And we're not playing in those leagues, and those leagues are far better than anything that we play in. So then when you put a group of players together, it's just the quality. And our quality, with all due respect, and it's no disrespect to what we've got because that's the best we've got at the time, it's not near there.
Okay. Damien Maury, will we ever, in my lifetime, win a World Cup?
How old are you?
I'm 57, Damien. What are you saying, son? Now, come on.
Average age is 85, so...
No, but there's plenty of countries. I mean, you know what? You've got to look at Japan. I had this discussion with a good friend of mine, just how Japan just beat Germany. Right? Yeah. So you look at... And then we went through where the Japanese players are playing. I thought most of them were playing at their ground. 8 of them are playing in the Bundesliga. Yeah, right? 5 of them are only playing in Japan, or 7 of them. So out of a 26-man squad, 7 players are only playing in their home ground football, their own league.
Yeah.
So the German Football League is the second best league in the world. So they've got 8 of their starting players, I think 8 of the squad, are in one of the second biggest leagues in the world.
Okay.
So that's where you need to get to. And now Japan, when I realised that, they're going to be a threat because they've got players playing in big clubs, and we don't. And when we were successful, the Harry Kewells, the Vidukas, the Lucas Neves, they're all playing EPL. We haven't got that now.
No.
And in order to be the best team, you have to be playing in the best leagues.
Yeah,
and I know they've got a lot of criticism on Graham Arnold, but Graham Arnold can only do what he can do with the players that he has. And yes, people can argue he can play a certain way, but then it's the quality of the player that needs to be able to deliver.
Yep,
and I think for where we are and where the players are playing and what we've got, we're delivering a good product. We're not at the same levels we were a few years ago with the quality of players.
Yeah. Well, Damien, an incredible career and contribution to the world game in our state that just continues. You're an absolute star. Thanks for your time.
Thanks a lot.
Damien Maury.
Cheers, Damien.
What a legend.
And
Was
assistant
and
coach at
continues
Adelaide
to be.
United now.
Still at the
which is
Reds.
great.
Scored 4 goals for Australia against Tonga back in 01. Would have been flat. 2 days later, we beat Fiji. No, we beat American Samoa 31-0. Archie Thompson kicked 13.
13, I
Imagine
think.
how many Damien would have got. He'd be flat. You're not playing that game.
He would have filled his boots up, an absolute star. Preserve your summer of mucking about in the pool. Get a Walco blankie. Look, it'll save you money and time. Get your pool a Walco blankie today and enjoy the savings. Visit walco.com.au.
We had a text message saying that Serge Melter was cutting Frogger's hair back in the day. We'll have to check that out with Damien.
Could be right.
Let's check the traffic for your drive home. If you're buying a Mitsubishi, getting your car service, head to the all-new Wavell Mitsubishi or Southern Mitsubishi.
At Unley, a major crash on Green Hill Road at Peacock Road. A cab and a truck's broken down on Port Wakefield Road near Churchill Road North. The left-hand lane is closed outbound with crews on scene. In the Parklands, roads are closed for the 500 on Fullerton Road at Wakefield Road. It's causing some inbound delays. It's a little busy at the moment at Holbrooks Road between Hartley Road and Grange Road. A speed camera Salisbury Highway, Mawson Lakes. Equip your business for what's ahead with NAB Equipment Finance. Search NAB Equipment Finance. NAB, more than money. T's and C's, fees and charges and lending criteria apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Everyday low prices, any time of year. Trust the mighty South Aussies. Great food lives here. Foodland, the mighty South Aussies, yeah. Foodland, the mighty South Aussies, yeah. The mighty South Aussies, yeah.
FIVEAA action this summer. Remember these dates. Wednesday, December the 14th, our season opener against the Sydney Sixers at Adelaide Oval. Also, my birthday. Next up, it's the big one, December 31st. Adelaide's biggest New Year's Eve party returns to Adelaide Oval. You're all invited, but get your tickets quick as they're selling fast. For tickets to all BBL matches, visit adelaidestrikers.com.au and I'll see you back at Adelaide Oval this summer.
Thinking of a new barbecue for summer? Weber's Black Friday sale is on now. You'll get 10% off the entire Weber range of barbecues, including Weber Q, kettle, gas, charcoal, pellet, electric barbecues, and all Weber accessories. Weber's Black Friday sale, available at your nearest Weber store, Weber specialist dealers, and Weber.com. Hurry, sale must end Monday. Find out more at Weber.com. T's and C's apply.
Da-da-da-da! Barnsey here from Barbecue Adelaide Weber Stores, and our Black Friday sale is off tap. Get a Weber Baby Q1000 from just $299. Plus, get 10% off store-wide and 15% off all rubs. We'll even match any advertised price on the same product. For everything Barbie this Black Friday, head to Barbecue Adelaide Weber Stores, Jebs Cross and Mile End. Sale on now and Cyber Monday, and prepare to get lit.
Introducing the Kia Cars of the Year. The Kia Cars of the Year. The fully electric Kia EV6. The Wheels Car of the Year. And the Drive Car of the Year. The Kia Sportage. To pick your side in this sibling rivalry, visit kia.com.au.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Gents, have you got the urge to pee again, even though you only just went? Caruso's Pee Less for Men relieves that annoying gotta pee again feeling and helps support healthy bladder and prostate function. So, if your need to pee all the time is getting in the way of enjoying life, try Caruso's Pee Less today. Caruso's Pee Less is made in Australia, comes with a money-back guarantee and is available from leading pharmacies and health food stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
The best painters have focus, flow. Everything disappears and the painting happens with ease. That's what the Monarch Advanced Neo has been designed to do. Easier, faster, with a smooth finish every time. Available now at all paint specialists. Monarch Advanced Neo.
For 75 years, Bupa has helped prepare Australians for every little bit of life that lies ahead. The ups, the downs, and the up agains. Search Bupa today.
Cause life is for living.
Bupa, because life happens.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA approved caravan crash repairer.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
A little bit of Twisted Sister for you, Timmy, on this Thursday afternoon. We are heading to the Bend this weekend because some excitement
Absolutely. The ASBK round for the Australian Superbikes is on at the Bend, and we've got, a local boy, 4-time champion himself.
He's a gun.
Daniel Falzon. G'day, Daniel. How are you?
I'm really well, fellas. How are you guys going?
I look excited, but I tell you what, mate, you're an interesting character, aren't you? You're not only a Superbike champion, but you also act as a paramedic during the day or night, mate. That's phenomenal. So do you fix yourself up, mate?
Yeah, look, that's a very common one, and to be honest, it is true. But I did come off night shift this morning, so I'm feeling a little bit dusty today out at the racetrack. But, good to be here, and then the sun's shining, so looking forward to a weekend of close racing.
Well, we've got, I think it's Friday, Saturday and Sunday at the Bend, so there's plenty of action?
Absolutely, yeah. We kick it off tomorrow with practice, then it's qualifying Saturday, and then Sunday's where all the fun starts. It's going to be some really close racing, I think, and we've got some international riders here this weekend, and look, I reckon it's going to be one not to miss.
Did you get the shift off Saturday night then?
What, sorry?
Did you get the shift off the paramedics on Saturday night? You're not doing it?
Yeah, look, my roster actually lined up pretty well. We returned back from last round of Phillip Island just on the weekend, and I've managed to fit 36 hours of shifts in, and here today.
Well done, mate.
No ramping there, Dan. The Bend Motorsport Park, what's it like for bikes?
Oh, mate, like this, I don't think the people of Adelaide really understand what we have here in regards to this facility. Like, it's phenomenal. It's an amazing facility itself, where what it offers us in comparison to other racetracks. And the circuit itself is exciting. Like, we're topping speeds over 300 kilometres an hour down the main straight here. And look, we're talking motorbikes where we're making 6-7 passes a lap. It's a bit different to car racing in that regard.
Wow. The ladder, where are you on the ladder, Daniel?
We've had a bit of a difficult year. I'm sitting in ninth at the moment. Previous years have been higher, but came off a big injury at this round last year, actually, and broke my femur, pelvis, and my back in one accident.
No way.
Yeah, so we kicked off the season carrying an injury, and it's just been a bit of rehab, or a lot of rehab, and getting myself a bit further up that point table this year.
Mate, you're 28, you're a paramedic. What in God's name are you doing out there? If I'm your dad, your uncle, your brother, your friend, Daniel, mate, come on.
Yeah, look, I've been doing this since I was 13 years old, so talking nearly 15 years in the sport. The paramedics is relatively new in comparison. I started that in 2014, and it's just been, you've obviously got your uni degree, and then now it's come to the point in my life where I'm having to work as well as race motorbikes. I can't give up the racing, and I can't give up my paramedics, so it's doing double duty.
So, Daniel, when you actually had the accident here last year, was it your mates that picked you up?
Funnily enough, yeah, it actually was.
Stop it.
Yeah, it actually was, and they were taken down to the Royal Adelaide Hospital. Lights and sirens, it was a bit of a big deal. And then I got into the bays where they assess you, and had all the doctors and nurses that I know from my other life of working as a paramedic. So, yeah, I was cut naked in front of everyone and assessed from head to toe.
Unreal, mate. You're a freak.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, mate.
Great courage.
Well, Daniel, have a ripper. Tickets are on sale, outtix.com.au. The Bend Motorsport Park, it is world-class riders. You're one of ours. You're our little South Australian lad. Please stay safe.
Oh, yeah.
Whiz that thing around there nicely. Keep it upright, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, fellas. It's looking forward to a big weekend, and hopefully we can put it on the podium for South Australia.
And Daniel, you don't have a spare bike at all. Tim's trying to ride a bike, and it's not going so well. He needs a bit of help up the hill. You haven't got a spare bike lying around?
Hey, look, if he comes out this weekend, I reckon I can organise a pillion ride for him so he can at least experience
that sounds better.
Well, hang on. Did you say a double dinky?
Little sidecar.
Correct.
Yeah, double dinky.
Yeah.
Oh,
you got it, mate.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Daniel, thanks for your time.
You're more than welcome, guys. Have a good weekend.
Is that what that is, an oxymoron? So he's a paramedic who saves lives, and he sits on a bike at, 300 clicks an hour, and had a prang last year.
Yep. Risk for life, saves a life.
You'll dump this.
No.
He has balls of steel.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Coulions. Yep.
Coulions of steel. And they go on the table.
Big click-clacks. Yep.
Big clickies.
Correct. That's all right. That's enough.
Big.
That's enough. The My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship Friday, it's all the practice. Tomorrow and then the weekends to get to the bend. I mean, the people that love their bikes, they will be there anyway. But if you just want to go and see incredible categories, there's entertainment, stuff for the family too, to be a big weekend at the bend. We wish Daniel all the best. And
what a star.
That's a bit awkward getting sort of, treated by your colleagues. And
yeah. Oh, well.
Anyway.
So you got,
everything.
Everything's
Jimmy
out.
and Phil's and everything. Yeah. Oh, see, that's
I suggest we go to the news before we have another meeting with the boss.
Thank you, Tim. 6 o'clock news on the way with Michaela. Plenty more sport coming up after 6, including our Kookaburras who are in town. They got a big 5 test series coming up against India.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Thinking of painting and don't know where to start?
We do, because we know paint at Crowey's.
So, visit Crowey's. And while you're there, join Crowey's Club to get 10% off everything.
We know paint at Crowey's.
Harvey Norman Big Friday. Stores open 8 a.m. tomorrow. Up to 30% off Windows 11 computers. Hisense 98-inch TV for under $5,000. Purchase a selected Australian-made queen-size mattress and for $1 more, upgrade to a king size. Everdew furnace barbecue with bonus accessories, $993. Plus, spend $250 or more and get 10% of your purchase price in Harvey Norman bonus gift cards. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. Gift card valid for 2 months. Trading hours may vary. Big Friday. Stores open 8 a.m. tomorrow at Harvey Norman.
At Golden North, we've been making our ice cream since 1923 in the country town of Laura, South Australia, nestled between the Flinders Ranges and the Barossa Valley. And we still make it like we did back then in the golden days, with local fresh milk and cream. So you can taste the golden days in every Golden North ice cream and make any day a golden day. Golden North. Make it a golden day.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Tonight, along with 13, with the 6 o'clock news, I'm Michaela Kamarek.
All new 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander with 10-year warranty, 10 years capped price servicing at Agostino Mitsubishi.
AGL Energy has brought forward the shutdown of its Torrens Island B gas power station by nearly a decade. It's blamed the switch to renewables and construction of a new interconnector between SA and New South Wales, which will slash profits from the plant. AGL's Chief Operating Officer Marcus Brockhoff says it wasn't viable to keep it open beyond 2026.
That was not an easy decision. We had entered in a long dialogue over the last couple of months, and I would say even years, with all the stakeholders, particularly with the South Australian government.
A Christmas present no one's really looking forward to, with the second higher flood peak expected to hit SA in late December. New modelling shows the first peak in early December will still be around 175 gigalitres a day, but the second around Christmas will be 185. Premier Peter Malinauskas says he's preparing for the worst but hoping for the best.
So our task is to do everything we can while we can to prepare for that, but also stand ready to assist those homes, those property owners, those individuals who will be affected simply because the volume of water is so substantial. Hence our $51 million package to provide support to those communities.
Christmas travel plans could potentially be delayed, with airline workers threatening industrial strikes over working conditions. This comes as Qantas lifts its half-yearly profit forecast to nearly $1.5 billion. Flight Attendants Association's Angela McManus says workers deserve better recognition for their contribution during the pandemic.
We've said that we'd assist them with those longer days, but we just need some ability to be able to at least have a bite to eat. And somewhere to sit down and eat on those, 12 to 14-hour days.
The new look Adelaide 500 will trigger road closures in the city from tomorrow. Wakefield Road is the first to be impacted, with commuters urged to plan ahead to avoid delays. Mark Warren from the Motorsport SA says there's a great buzz about the event, both here and interstate.
This event was on many people's bucket lists, not just from a point of view of locally, but from around Australia. But many didn't make it before it got canned, and so the feedback we've got is people are saying, we're there. We're not going to leave it any longer. We want to come. The interstate bookings has been just fantastic, both from corporate and we expect also from fans.
Ukraine's president has accused Russia of crimes against humanity. Russia's latest attacks have targeted critical infrastructure, leading to rolling blackouts. Volodymyr Zelensky says they've devastated cities.
When we have the temperature below zero and scores of millions of people stay without energy supplies, without heating, without water, this is an obvious crime against humanity.
Now turning to 5AA sport, and midfielder Jackson Irvine believes there are clear areas the Socceroos need to improve before their next World Cup match against Tunisia. 3 of France's 4 goals in the opening game came from crosses into the box. Irvine says they'll work hard to address it before Saturday.
And then obviously looking at their threats when we analyse the opposition coming into the next couple of days, and looking at what we can do to nullify them through our own structures that we always have defensively.
Jason Scrivener and Minwoo Lee have a share of the lead after the opening round of the Australian PGA Championship. They shot a 6 under 65 to sit 1 clear of Adam Scott. And Red Bull has confirmed the return of Daniel Ricciardo for the next Formula One season. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Samri. They don't grade cheese, they do great things. Get into it at samri.org.au.
At Para Hills West, a crash on Kester's Road at Seafield Road. Also, only a major crash on Green Hill Road at Peacock Road. Trucks broken down at Cavan on Port Wakefield Road near Churchill Road North. The left-hand lane is closed outbound with crews on scene. And a speed camera, Salisbury Highway, Mawson Lakes. Harvey Norman, Big Friday. Stores open 8 a.m. until late tomorrow. Spend $250 or more and get 10% of your purchase price in gift cards. T's and C's and exclusions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Clear tonight, a low of 13. Sunny tomorrow, 31. Saturday, a possible shower, 27. And Sunday, a possible shower and a top of 20. Right now, it's 24 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
Christmas cash-in, why Adelaide's children can't book to visit the Magic Cave for free. 9 exclusive, what really happened on the Grange runaway train. An SA power station shutting down, what it means for your household bills. The surprise medications helping shed stubborn extra kilos. And we preview the Black Friday sales. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News happening now.
It's out now. Cheapers Chips' huge 24-page gift guide catalogue.
Cheapers Chips.
Page after page of amazing gift ideas, so you can gift cheaper this Christmas. With a huge range of kitchen appliances, novelty gifts, tons of toys and gift hampers in stock, finding the perfect gift is easy. There's a great range of Christmas decorations, gift wrap and huge inflatable Christmas decorations. Look for Cheapers Chips' huge 24-page gift guide catalogue out now and shop in store or online. Gift cheaper and live cheaper with Cheapers Chips.
Ever since I got a plan on the NBN, I felt more connected to my grandkids.
Yeah, me and Granddad have been doing lots of great stuff together online.
Like video calling and sharing our photos and dance practice videos.
Next, we plan on doing an online dance challenge.
Online? Perfect. The whole family can see us dance together.
NBN is made for more meaningful connections. NBN, made for more. Your experience may vary depending on factors such as your NBN technology, internet provider, your plan and equipment.
This week at Foodland, Aussie lamb rack or loin rib cutlets. A very tasty $29.50 a kilo till November 29th while stocks last.
Foodland, the mighty South Aussies, yeah.
And now, a Christmas carol from the team at Adelaide Exposed Concrete.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la.
Okay, thank you. That was different.
How about another one? Yeah!
No, I mean, we're out of time. Adelaide Exposed Concrete, best on ground all year round. Great job, everyone.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
8 minutes after 6, very exciting half hour on the way because we have not one, not two, but 3 very special guests. Carly will meet in 1 second. And coming up very shortly too, Eddie Ockenden and Jeremy Hayward, 2 of our star kookaburras. They are in town. Starting this weekend, there is a 5-test series at Jeps Cross against India. So look forward to speaking to the boys very shortly. But we thought we had to get someone in, Rowey, to help. Timmy out because let's be honest,
he's in all sorts.
Yeah, well, this is all because the Santos Tour is back for 2023, and thank the Lord for that.
You.
Now, I'm excited.
I've done 2 of them, by the way, Tim.
Have you? Oh, well done. Oh, you've done the Challenge Tour?
I've done 2 Challenge Tours.
I noticed how good you were yesterday morning. Powered away from me and destroyed me. But it's an 83k or 123, I think, is the 2 distances you can ride. And if you want to join me on the 83 and join the peloton, I like to sit at the back a bit. And you think what you've got, what it takes, well, then head to 5AA Win page and let us know why, and then listen in next week to see if you've made the cut. It's all thanks to the Santos Tour Down Under Challenge. Ride a UCI World Stage just before the pros, Friday, 20th of Jan. Visit tourdownunder.com.au. We've got a TDU Assistant Race Director, Carly Taylor. Welcome, Carly. Thank you very much for coming in. And first of all, you rode quite a bit, didn't you? And got the title of Queen of the Mountain and you name it. So what's the tips in all of this? What have I done wrong? Because I've gone a little bit hard too early, I think.
Well, I heard that you haven't ridden for 30 years.
Correct.
And then you went out yesterday and decided to ride up the old freeway.
Correct.
Which is one of the longest hills in South Australia and Adelaide.
You didn't tell me that. No, it's not.
So you did go out pretty hard quite early.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably just gradually building it up would have been my suggestion.
Yeah.
Now it's a bit late for that. So maybe just trying to recover before your next trip out on the bike might help.
So the people we're trying to encourage to come along with me, what should they do right from here? Because you said we're 50 days away?
Yeah, I know. It's like exciting and scary at the same time, but that's still definitely enough time to start that preparation for the Challenge Tour. So as long as you're getting out on the bike a bit regularly, a couple of days each during the week, and just build it up. So now you can just start building that foundation, kind of like building a house.
Yeah, so a couple of days each. Is that like 3 rides a week? Or?
Yeah. And also just like when the weather is nice, like days like today and tomorrow when it's a bit nicer to go out there. We haven't had the best weather this last couple of weeks, which probably hasn't helped a lot with people's preparation. But kind of try to go out with a mate and just a couple of hours.
Well, I did try that.
Yeah.
well,
maybe a better mate.
Yeah, okay. Carly, there's a couple of things, and those that are thinking of doing the Tour Challenge, the TDU Challenge, it is fantastic. Having your bike set up right and having the right technique is important. Now, I don't think Tim ticked either of those boxes. He was over his handlebars like a bit of 4x2, tense as anything. He'd had his shot. You've got to relax, Tim. Now, Tali, please, he wouldn't listen to me. Give him some real good technique.
Mainly on the climbing.
I do think probably a bike fit sounds like a wise choice here.
I actually did get that done properly. Stewie O'Grady put me on to Pete at International Cycle.
Nice.
So he was measuring it to the
So you're just
degree.
a hubbard, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So I think it's more my fault than that fault. But I didn't know what to do going up a hill. I had no idea.
I think definitely you want to mix it with being in the saddle and out of the saddle. Sometimes people don't want to climb the whole time in the seat because it can be a little bit uncomfortable, especially if you're not used to riding on some of those carbon saddles that are on bikes these days.
Yes.
So mixing it up, kind of being on the seat, going out of the seat, but when you're out of the seat, being relaxed. You don't want to kind of be really stiff and awkward on the bike, but kind of like dance on those pedals.
How did you go? You looked all right.
Well, and the other thing Timmy needs to do is get a good pair of nicks, or maybe 2 pair of nicks, would you suggest, Carly?
Yeah, definitely investing in some good cycling kit would help.
Okay.
You spend a couple of hours on that saddle and there's not much support and cushioning there, so having a good chamois makes those hours on the bike a lot more enjoyable.
So can we still register for the challenge?
For sure.
Yeah,
up until the very close to the day. So I think with closed roads as well, and the start and the finish being so close to the Adelaide CBD, I think there's going to be a lot of numbers, and also fully closed roads, which will be really
And the
exciting.
track is what? Give us the track again. It's on the Friday, the 20th.
Yeah, so it starts off and it goes up Norton Summit.
Oh, stop it. So does ours, Tim.
Yes, it
There you
does.
go.
Yeah.
So reconnaissance.
Yeah.
that's a good step in the training
Do a
process. So
reconnaissance, yep.
very elite there. And it goes throughout the Adelaide Hills. The next major climb is Checkers, and that's a lot shorter but a lot steeper. And that might entail getting out of the seat a little bit. It goes up to...
When you say getting out of the seat, is that like getting out and walking up with the bike? Or?
No. That's getting off the bike.
Because I was close. I was very close.
Dance on the pedals, mate.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would just be like getting out of the seat, using your arms more to rock the bike.
Right.
And it helps, especially in those more steeper gradients. And then lucky last, we go up the corkscrew, which is near the Gorge Road. And that reaches a max gradient of 24%.
That's awful, that one.
So I think the name says it all.
Wow.
You've picked the real doozy there, Timmy G.
I'd just like to say Stewie did design this. So if you want to blame anyone,
It's
maybe.
him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I know who to speak to. But the fact is, we're back. It's been 3 years, really, since we've had a TDU in its purest form. That's exciting, isn't it, to get the riders back into town?
Yeah, I mean, normally it's the first World Tour event, and it is the first World Tour event of the season, and to have the best cyclists in the world, the international peloton back, but also to have the women's race equal status this year as a World Tour event, and the first ever World Tour in Australia is massive. So yeah, we're all super excited for it, to have the village back, the Challenge Tour, everything that's the Tour Down Under that we know is going to be
back.
Yeah, we're going to all be feeling the rush, I think.
About time too.
I cannot wait. Just sit behind Max Gorn. He's the ambassador. We spoke to Max for TDU. Carly, thank you very much for that. Thank you for those tips. One last one on a Cafe de Villiers text. Do you push down and pull up the hills? Do you pull up?
Yeah, definitely that helps. But think about pedaling circles. So you want to be pedaling the whole pedal stroke, and so that does involve pulling up as well, and
Timmy,
that might help you.
Pedal circles, mate.
Okay.
Don't be so stiff over the handlebars.
I think I'll just
Sounds like he's just digging holes.
Dance on the pedals.
I am digging holes. That's exactly what I'm doing.
If you want to join Tim, you can do so at 5AA.com.au. Register, and you could be in pain. I mean, you could have a great time with Tim on the ride as well. Thanks so much for coming in, Carly.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Carly Taylor, TDU Assistant Race Director. Not sure about the Spokey Dokies in the playing card either, Tim, in your spoke.
Take that out.
You do whatever you want to do. We're going to take a short break. On the other side, two of the star Kookaburras who are here this weekend for the 5-test series.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA's Variety Radiothon is on this Friday, with your chance to bid on some great auction items, as well as the opportunity to donate towards this great SA charity. This year, our great friends at Cochrane's Transport are matching dollar for dollar donations that come through on Radiothon Day. Cochrane's is a great locally owned business that delivers more boxes, cartons and pallets across SA every night than any other transport company. Cochrane's Transport, supporting Radiothon.
Top of the list? First pick, numero uno. If you've been dreaming of choosing a new Mazda, Mawson Lakes Mazda want to give you preferential treatment. New stock has arrived, and right now you can take first pick of the Mazda range and lock in an amazing deal. Get behind the wheel of your dream Mazda sooner. See the new stock available for delivery now. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city. First day of my new business, insured by QBE. Cue the lights. Cue the first customers.
Hello.
Cue the morning rush. Cue the unavoidable. Cue the call to QBE.
Hi, sorry.
Cue the quick response.
We'll get that sorted for you.
QBE Insurance on queue for thousands of small businesses before and after. Search QBE SME or talk to your broker today.
See qbe.com/au for eligibility, the PDS and the TMD to decide if this product is right for you. The product issuer is QBE Insurance Australia Limited.
When I feel strong, I feel like dancing. When we feel strong, we feel like dancing.
Join the Wiggles and World Vision in bringing hope and joy to children around the world by sponsoring a child this Christmas. Your support can make them feel strong and proud through improved access to food and education. Sponsor a child today. Search World Vision.
Feel like dancing around the world.
I'm Peter Berkowitz from Berkowitz Furniture.
And I'm Justin Berkowitz.
There's two of us,
but only one Berk Friday sale, and it's just been extended to Sunday.
Enjoy up to 40% off famous Berkowitz quality and comfort.
That's 40% off sofas, recliners, dining tables, chairs, and more.
Brilliant. Our one and only Black
Berk, Dad. Berk.
Berk Friday sale has now been extended to Sunday. We're not just a furniture store.
We're a furniture family.
Mile End Homemaker Centre.
We all need purpose in our lives. It's what gets us out of bed in the morning and makes us fulfilled and needed. At Luthering Disability Services, we're focused on building purpose for people living with a disability. By helping adults here in SA find accommodation, live independently, and connect with their communities, we empower them to live their best life. We go above and beyond, which encourages the people we support to do the same. Search Lutheran Disability Services to become part of our family today.
We open our doors to people we trust and care about. And for over 85 years, South Australians have been opening their doors to Rest Haven. In turn, we've been opening doors to an easier, better life at home. From personal care to help with the shopping and social outings, you'll welcome the care that Rest Haven brings.
Walker Crash Repairs. For easy insurance repairs on your caravan, get it fixed right with Walker Crash Repairs.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
20 minutes after 6, and Tim, we have the world's best hockey players in town.
Well, we're very blessed, Rowey. We've got some very special guests in the room. There's a 5-game series coming up. Kookaburras versus the Indians, right here in our backyard at Mate Stadium, Jepps Cross. Like to make welcome Eddie Ockerton and Jeremy Hayward. Hello, boys.
G'day, guys.
How you going?
Both well.
Time you come back.
It's been a while.
09, was it?
I'm sure we've been trying. I mean, we love playing in Australia. We just don't get to do it enough, unfortunately. But yeah, look, it's honestly great to be in Adelaide. We're super pumped for the games, and thanks for having us.
And Eddie, you're about to play your 400th game, which is phenomenal for your country. Only a couple to go. You'll get that in this series, no doubt.
Yeah, it's a lot of games. Well, I think the first few games I'll play, we've got some family and friends coming over, and
great.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice. Ex-teammates and making a big effort to come on the weekend, which is pretty cool. Yeah, really special.
And that builds some of the culture, doesn't it, amongst, I suppose, the Kookaburras in general. I mean, Jeremy, you'd be sitting there going, I hope they do this for me.
Well, yeah, 400. I don't think I'm going to get that far. Actually, so it's actually quite special what he's done.
It is special. I'll stick with you, Eddie. 08 Beijing, you got the bronze. 2012 in London, the bronze. You missed Rio. We might come back to that. Tokyo, the silver. That shootout versus Belgium, I can still remember nearly every penalty shootout. I was as tense as anything with my wife. We were screaming, jumping behind the couch. We just so wanted you guys to win. That was me. I have no vested interest other than love my Kookaburras. Talk us through that. You were both there, Jeremy. You can go next. But Eddie.
Yeah, it's probably a pretty tough watch, actually. Even the quarterfinal, semi-final, into the final.
It was
they're hard games to watch for our families and stuff. Like when you're there, I think it's close, and it's going to be close, but you're playing against good teams. It was really difficult. It's a really tough loss to lose that shootout. But I think Tokyo, we took a lot of positive memories. I think you always wish what could have happened or what might have been, and I'm not going to say I don't think about it every now and then, but a lot of positive memories from Tokyo. I know how hard it was from those other Olympics you mentioned just to get to that the final game, to play in the final. Like winning the bronze medals was really cool. Like they're special, but so we never even got the chance to play for the gold, and just getting there and having the chance is still disappointing, but a lot of positive memories.
Yeah. You, Jeremy?
The shootouts they're such a special skill. So I just sit back and watch. That's much easier for me. Yeah, the guys that do it, they're unreal at it. We just sort of fell short that last hurdle. We got in on shootouts through the quarterfinals, so we can't say we hate them.
That's right.
But yeah,
but how you have to dribble it? It's real mind over matter and technique. There's a lot in it, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a tough skill, and even the goalkeepers they don't. It's not really a natural movement in a game of hockey. It is sometimes, but not so specifically for 5 times in a row. So even for them, it's really difficult. It's mentally challenging as well as their technique.
Jeremy, one of your teammates reckon you've got a great dragon flick. Can you describe a dragon flick to Rowey and I?
A dragon flick. Oh, it's for a short corner, it's a set piece really. So they'll drag the ball out and stop on the top of the circle.
Yep.
From a friend, and then I'll come through with a bit of momentum, get the ball from as low as possible, get the ball behind me, and flick it as hard as I can at goals. It's probably one of the easiest ways to score a goal, but the body does not like it. So everyone thinks they can flick. They flick once, and they'll be just like you, limping for the.
Like a bit of 42.
Oh, you've noticed the bad back, have you?
Limping for weeks to come.
Now, Jeremy, this teammate as well. It wasn't completely kind when he described you, but he said that he thinks he's funny, but he's not as funny as he thinks.
Is this? I think Justin Langer recently came out and said a source is a coward.
Coward.
I'll name and shame. Jack Welch.
No, it's.
You could ask any one of us. They probably would have said the same thing.
Yeah. But to be fair, he was asked to describe you, which was great. And he was very complimentary until that last one. Yeah. But how would you describe Eddie before his 400th?
Oh, he's a humble man. He's quiet. He doesn't like the limelight as much. So I sort of put him up in light as much as possible. And what he's done is incredible. My debut was his 200th game, and wow. So I've been my whole career next to him, and he's essentially had two of my careers, and I can't even fathom that.
Well, I read your record, Eddie, and we've got a copy here that says just read the record. I mean, I'd have to take probably another 3 hours to read it out, but 5 gold at the Oceania, 7 gold at the Champions Trophy, which is highly rated, 2 gold World Cups, 4 on the Com Games, 4 Olympics. What's the gap? Is there a gap? Are you happy with it all?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, definitely, you would not have thought that you could go and win all these things or even play for Australia. When you're a kid, you dream and you talk with your mates in your garden or at the hockey. You just, you're going to play for Australia or someone's going to play for Australia. Do you want to go play hockey? You don't think about what you can do or what's possible. You don't think you can travel the world for 17 years with some of your best mates and go to these tournaments like you mentioned. I mean, obviously we haven't quite got over the line at the Olympics, which is tough, but it's not the be all and end all for me. But definitely, sort of that one would be very nice to have, and I guess if we'd have won in Tokyo, I wouldn't say I would be happily retired. I still wanted to keep playing because I still love it. It's not something that would either finish my career or it's not something that I have to have. It's just definitely would have loved it for it to be different, but you just keep on keeping on.
Paris.
Yeah, I think after Tokyo, I sort of wanted to keep playing. I still felt like I was good enough, and I was still loving the game. So I thought it was only fair to the team to commit onwards and commit yourself towards Paris. It was only 3 years away at the time, so definitely taking it as it goes at the moment. We've got our World Cup, which is massive in January. That's a huge tournament for hockey every 4 years. So we'll see how it goes. I'm happy to say, if I'm good enough, I'll try and keep going. If I'm not, someone will tell me or I'll know.
Yeah,
now that World Cup, like you said, it's being played in India, so we've got India here in this 5-game series. I watched the Commonwealth Games final. Gee, that was a shellacking that you gave them there. It was 7-0, wasn't it? Something ridiculous like that, and played unbelievably. How important is it to just get maybe a psychological advantage in this series?
Yeah, it could be important. I think I haven't looked too closely at the draw just yet, but there's every chance we could come up against them in the quarter, even the semi, and potentially even the final if we get that far. So it's they're going to be coming out hot. The 7-0 is going to be fresh in their mind, I'm sure about it. So
was that an anomaly, or was it just like you guys were just on fire?
I think it just clicked that day. We struggled the day before that against England. We were 2-0 down early, so that day we come out, we were ready, and it just clicked. It's hard to explain.
It was amazing.
It just worked. Yeah. I wish I was on the end of a couple, but the other boys did it all.
Yeah, it was fantastic. But who probably also sits in the favouritism box for the World Cup next year? Who would be the short prices?
Oh, I mean, any top 10 in the world, any of them can win on their day. So Belgium, Germany, England, Argentina. Yep. There's a lot there that can take the chocolates, that's for sure.
Had a look at the stats here, Jeremy and Eddie. And Jeremy, you've played probably less than half the games as Eddie, but you're only 1 goal behind him. So they're all Dragon Flick.
Dragon Flick.
I'm surprised I'm still.
He would like to count his assist because he's the one who stops the ball on top of the circle for me. So.
Okay.
I count them as assists. All I have to do is stop the ball and he does the rest. But I'll definitely take those.
I've seen a few miss them.
Yeah, no, you got to be good. You got to be good there.
Have you ever chopped one into the gob?
Not actually, no. I just watch the ball and hit my stick.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
How hard is it for the keepers? I always think to myself, they're in there and they're trying to stop everything happening, and there's one attempt and then the second attempt comes. It must be a tough gig.
You know what they say? They say it's a hard job for them mentally, and they get one chance. But they say, well, we're wearing all the pads. We call them crazy, and they say you guys are the ones running around without any gear on. At least I've got the gear on to protect me. So they think we're silly, but it's a tough gig.
Yeah. Well, first time in Adelaide since 2009. It's great to have you boys back. Have an absolute ripper and get out there because it's exhilarating fun up and down the ground. It's one of the fastest games you ever get to see. Men, thanks for coming in. Well done.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
We do love the Kookaburras, and you can see them in action here, as the boys mentioned, Saturday the 26th of November, Sunday the 27th, Wednesday November 30, Saturday the 3rd, and Sunday the 4th of December. So, Timmy, this weekend, next weekend with a game in the middle on the Wednesday too.
Awesome.
Which we're looking forward to. Now, thanks to our great mates.
No way.
At Hockey Australia.
Really?
Thank you, bros. Nick Kerber for this one. We have 5 doubles to give away to the Wednesday night match.
Get down there.
So if you want to go and see the Kookaburras in action against India, number 1 in the world versus India, who are about 4 or 5, 8223 0055. First 5 callers through get a double pass to see our Cookers.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
The SA Liberal Party has decided to go all out on the issue of ramping. The Libs have started a